I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same that I was at the age of 13, and I've lived none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same that I was at the age of 13. Takes none of my friends have left me yet. I'm looking for reason. All it takes is 10 drinks.
Oh wow, that was weird. Well, that's what happens when you go live on Instagram for the first time, I guess. I don't know. That was fucking weird.
It was
We're doing a
remix.
remix, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Happy New Year, hot dogs. Let me share this on somebody's page here. I'm still sharing. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Chris Burnett. Holly Ann is here.
I'm back. Woo!
Yeah, you weren't here at the end of the year.
I was not because
You just didn't give a shit. It's cool.
yeah,
You guys were struck.
we got RSV in our house and it was terrible.
Is that a new video game? What's going
I
on?
wish it was the worst video game that ever video gamed.
Right.
No, it was really scary and not fun because we have a toddler, and
Oh.
it's like the worst thing that your toddler can get. We've gone 2 years without him getting anything like that, and it was not fun.
Yeah.
And also, I learned.
Oh, you didn't want it.
No.
Oh.
I also learned something that's really hard to teach toddlers, and that is blowing their nose.
Oh, weird. What?
Yeah, because it's really hard to explain that to a new
Oh.
human. And so he just snot rocketed me the whole
Ew.
time.
Oh no!
It was really fun.
James Smiley is in the house.
Hi, everyone.
Show him that Topo Chico seltzer. That's
Oh, here. This is
hard
my
seltzer that's
wonderful
sponsored.
Topo Chico seltzer.
Oh man! And then from the Dry Heat Comedy Club,
No.
Kelli and Sarah.
Hey, hi.
Welcome. Happy New Year.
Thanks. Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Kelly has messaged the group.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
It's the bracket.
Oh, it's the bracket. Okay.
Oh, where am
We just
I?
released it today. So.
Oh.
I haven't looked at it yet.
Oh, pull that mic, Kelly.
Yeah.
Pull that mic to
Oh,
you.
sorry.
Come on.
There you go. Talking to it.
Hello. Hello.
Pull it up.
Even further. Okay.
How about that? No, try.
Regular.
I don't know.
I can't hear you in mine, but
I can also talk louder. Is that better?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I don't have to be whispering.
Use use your
I was just trying for ASMR.
use your
voice.
teacher voice is what they say, right? Oh, there we go. Cool. So you guys, let's get it out of the way. The big announcement. I mean, the big elephant in the room. Do we need another Mean Girls movie? I mean,
oh my god. Okay, well, this is an interesting question that you're bringing it up because this is a conversation we have in our house a lot.
This is a very important subject to Sarah.
oh yeah,
Yes, I think the answer is yes.
always.
Yeah.
We bought the tickets to like the Wednesday sneak preview one
Yeah.
where everybody wears pink.
Oh
Like,
wow.
We love pink.
Yeah, we also went to the Barbie movie wearing pink too. We love a theme party.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the new Barbie controversy?
Oh, no.
What is
About
that?
how
Oh,
they're
the Oscar
getting
one?
the way that their script is
Yeah.
being classified. Yeah,
Yeah. Very interesting, right?
I mean they are adapting a thing.
An
I mean, it's
IP.
very weird for people to be like,
Yeah.
how dare they treat this toy movie like this?
Right. Well, and like, okay, I had this conversation. I feel like I'm not very. There we go. I had this conversation at lunch today. There's not a lot of good movies anymore. And I mean, I know that's all subjective. And we were talking about movies like I watched this Saltburn. Didn't like it.
No,
Oh no.
It's pretty dumb.
You're not into the bathtub water.
Yeah, the dude's licking the tub water. I get it. It's fucked up. It's
My
fucked
2-year-old
up.
does that.
It's fucked up, but people are fucked up. So anyway,
people
I
hate
literally-
Saltburn, but they love that No Doubt song.
Yep. And so I literally tell someone, I was like, you know what? To be honest, the only really good movie I've seen recently is the fucking Barbie movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, I still don't want to watch it. And I'm like, I didn't want to watch it either.
It was
My
good.
God,
It's fucking
so
good.
So good.
It was so good.
Super good.
It was more about horses than I thought it would be,
Yes.
which I was pleasantly surprised about.
I loved it.
As a horse girl, I was
Unlike
like,
the patriarchy,
"Oh."
it's actually more about horses than
And it had a little bit of something for everybody. I was like, look, there's the new electric Hummer. I was like, cool.
So it came out on Max.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't want to take Danny to the movie theater because she's a wreck. When she gets excited, people around us get mad.
Oh, yeah.
So I promised her I wouldn't watch it without her. We watched it. Best mother-daughter movie.
Oh, for sure,
Of
for
course.
sure.
She, oh, man, that monologue about being a woman
Ooh.
and being a mom and all that stuff. And then at the end, when, she's talking about how moms like stand still to let their daughter, I started bawling.
Yeah.
And Danny looks over and she goes, it's so hard being a woman and a mom and baby. And it was so just great. And I loved it so much that I then made my husband watch it that night.
Yeah.
He was like, you just watched this an hour ago. I'm like, I'll watch it an hour from when we finish it now.
I thought the ending joke was like one of the best.
I loved it.
That shit was
Yeah.
hilarious. I was like,
You know what's cool about it being on Max is that Max is you can also watch it with director's commentary on.
oh, I
Yeah.
didn't
And I love if they could bring back more of the DVD things
gotta
that we
try
all
that.
loved,
Yeah.
and like have that be part of streaming where you can just opt into that. I would be so thrilled.
Why don't, like, it seems like it would be, honestly, in this day and age where you can, like, you don't have to go to like a studio to record that shit anymore. You would think there would be more of that.
I mean, there are on DVDs.
Well,
I
do they still do it?
yeah, no,
Okay,
that's the reason.
well,
That's
then-
why the reason I get DVDs, because it has all that extra like documentaries, behind the scenes stuff.
And now I feel like it's even more dumb. Because if you've already made it,
Yeah, then please release it.
just really, like if I'm on the streaming thing, it should just be an option there.
they'll do that on Prime.
oh,
If you watch it on Prime, it'll be all, and we have these other extras like right below it.
You know what the greatest thing about Prime is when you're watching the movie, if you pause it, at the moment you pause it, it tells you who the actors are right then and there.
Yeah.
So that when someone's like, "Oh, what movie is that guy from?" Like people always do that shit, and you just go click, let's see, click.
It'll tell
love
you what
it.
song's playing. You're
yeah.
all,
Yeah.
I need a full pop-up video showing of every
Yes.
movie. For me and like my hyperfixation during things, I need it to just be like,
Yes.
oh, and did you know that this is the same actor from the blah blah? And I'm like,
God, I missed that. I missed that. I missed pop-up video. Loved pop-up video. And it was one of those things like, so have you watched, I mean, this is great to talk to you guys about because I feel like we kind of have a little bit of a wavelength on stuff like this. So there's on Vice TV, they have the dark side of the blank.
Yeah.
Well, they did the 90s and then they finally did the 2000s. Have you watched the Total Request Live one?
No, we watched all of the 90s ones, and
Yeah.
so I'm so shocked and excited to go home and get the 2000s ones because I
Yeah.
got the comedy ones.
Oh, yeah.
Or the comedy ones.
Did you like those?
I
feel like you
scared
already-
my mom actually.
Oh.
The more like because we watched,
Oh.
I showed my parents I Am Comic, which is like a documentary
Yeah,
from the
yeah, yeah.
2000s, and it's great. But my mom left it being like, "Your life is going to be so hard," and I was like, "No, I'm not doing what."
Mom, I can handle cocaine. I can handle it.
Oh no!
They've been doing the dark side of novelists for a long,
Right.
Well, yeah.
long time.
Well, but like as probably fans of comedy like your whole life, I feel like the dark side of comedy for you is probably like the wrestling is for me. Well, except the wrestling, there were things I was like, whoa, I didn't know that. But like the comedy one, I watched like a couple of those, and I was like, yeah, I already know all this.
Yeah.
But there was some of the comedians I didn't know. But like the Chris Farley one, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we happened to all live through
Yeah.
the time when it was like Behind the Music and Each True
Yeah.
Hollywood Story and Biography and like and
Each
those
Hollywood
don't-
Story was the best shit ever.
It was so good,
Oh,
and
man.
now like it's crazy. They just came out with that Milli Vanilli documentary on Netflix, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is just the Behind the Music." I've seen
Yeah.
it,
Oh, yeah.
and I saw it again when the guy died. Like I've seen it.
I love when they did on the Family Guy where he's like depressed and he's at home and he's watching the Behind the Music Leaf Gary. and he's like mouthing the words.
Yeah,
I finally hit the age where some of my friends' kids are teenagers.
Yeah.
And one of my friend's sons is really into documentaries, and he watched the Milli Vanilli thing, and he was like baby-splaining Milli Vanilli to me.
oh,
And he was like, "Holly, have you watched the documentary about Milli Vanilli?" Because he knows I'm a documentary nerd. And I was like, "Oh no, I haven't watched that
Girl,
yet."
I lived it, man.
And he's like, "Do you know that this happened and this?" I was like, "Yeah, I knew. I know all of that." And he was like, "But did you know?" Yes, I also
I'm
was aware.
Yeah.
coming up. Yeah, dark turn down the, like it'd always be like, you're like, oh, jeez.
And then
fucking commercials.
I've been wearing like my socks scrunched down because it's in fashion again.
Nice.
And he the other day he was like, "Holly, you're looking really fashionable lately."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like,
How old is this kid?
"Yeah, I think he's like 16."
Oh, all right.
And he goes, "Well, you got your socks scrunched?" And I was like, "We invented that.
Right.
This
Hey,
is
like,
not
welcome
new.
back. Yeah.
Y'all wake up.
It's more comfortable."
But the TRL one. So I did not. Okay. I have to say this. I did not, when it was out, when it was a thing, I hated it. I thought it was the worst shit ever. Because I didn't like that music. So I'm watching the behind, like
But you can request the music you
Yeah,
want.
you
I know.
request music.
That
But
was
see-
the whole point.
But you got to watch that so that, I'll just spoil it for you real quick. No, but like the whole thing is like, once I watched that, the Dark Side thing, I was like, I love this. I love that show because they were like the original internet. Like they fucked up the music industry. They disrupted the music industry so bad that the record companies would hire people to call in.
Yes.
And so TRL hired people that specifically were trained to spot those people out and root that shit out.
Do they talk about the email campaign to get the New Kids on the Block to be number one?
I think so.
There was like a whole thing. I remember getting it in middle school on AOL,
Yeah.
and it was like, we gotta find out if this is real. So vote for New Kids on the Block, who we all agree
Oh,
are
yeah.
out of
I think
favor.
they probably mentioned it for a sec.
But the crazy part about it was the next week after that, both Joey and Jordan had solo albums that came out, and
Oh.
they used it as a way to be like, "What? You guys made it go viral, and so here are those guys you voted for."
Well, and they did a lot of the they did the Mariah Carey stuff where she came out like unannounced. And like
Yeah.
you think like in your mind you're like, "Oh, this is planned." It was not. And she was like, boop, 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 boop.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. She had like the hot dog stand.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, and then like the next day on the news, they're like, Mariah Carey's had a meltdown. You're like, oh, geez, that was real.
Yeah,
Well, and it was crazy because it wasn't called TRL. It was like Total Request.
live. Yeah,
Well, it wasn't Total Request Live.
no, because it wasn't.
It was like, and then it was like mid-afternoon, and they came in and they were like, okay, this is the time of the day where we get like the least amount of views.
Oh,
And they're like, we have to do something. So they hired Carson Daly from the radio.
because the Stick Stickly, I think, probably was taking all their
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were
I
like,
love Stick
same thing.
Stick.
Yeah.
well, they were like, we need a good-looking like person. And so
Excuse you, Stick Stickly was handsome.
I don't know who that is.
Oh no, he's a
beautiful.
popsicle stick.
Iconic.
So they brought
Very
him
slim.
in, and then they were like, we're gonna put it in Times Square, and like they didn't even think about the street,
People.
the
Yeah.
street thing, and like they when the show like went on, like there was no one outside, and like there was like one show where like the guy Carson Daly's like, oh, there's a couple people out there like with signs. And he was like, the next week it was, because everybody found out like, oh, we can go stand out there. And so then they had to hire that girl. It was like the crowd person. Yeah. And it's crazy. It's kind of nuts. It was like, I was like, wow, I didn't know all this. And that's what I love about like, kind of like the world. Like we have the internet and we have listening because like, you don't know the behind the scenes, but now we do. And it's like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Like
The
someday.
hold Carson Daly had on me.
Oh, I loved him.
I swore I was going to name my child Carson. And my family, I was so serious about it that when Ian was born, they're like,
Yeah.
if it's a boy, are you going to name it Carson? And I was like, why would I do that?
Oh.
They're like, why
You
would
said,
it?
you said.
Yeah.
I loved him.
In middle school, I had a girlfriend, not a girlfriend, but a girlfriend named Carson.
Oh,
It
Gender
could have
neutral.
gone either way.
Michelle Branch named her daughter Owen.
interesting.
I love
that.
when they kind of do that kind of
Interesting.
Can we go back to Stick Stickly for a second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sarah had
I gotta
tried.
see who this person is.
Oh yes, he's.
Yes, I don't know who this is
I
either.
can't believe that
Stick
you don't know
Stickly
him.
was basically the Carson Daly of Nickelodeon for a little while, where he took the weird middle of the afternoon time to show some
I can't wait to see his
programming.
reaction.
And he was a host that was, he really was a popsicle stick that they just had like a guy like puppeteer him.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
But you could write.
But he had
yes,
to write to
there,
him.
that
You can- so his,
Ah.
but it has a song, and so it's like, write to me, Stick Stickly, P.O.
Ah.
Box 963, New York City, New York State, 10108.
Oh, sick.
So
I don't remember
Sarah,
that. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Sarah spent some time while we were in New York trying to find Stick Stickley's
P.O. box. Like I got into the like I was in I'm like 10108. I'm in 10108.
Yeah.
And so I started looking like are there post offices around?
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna find this man, this stick man's?
Wow.
Man.
I think that'd be a great documentary on its own. Is just to
Right.
go try to find Stick Stickley's.
You should make that document. Yeah, finding Stick Stickly.
Yeah,
So far, we never succeeded. However, we left our New York friends with the task. So.
yeah,
And you could make like a new one where he's all fat and
Yeah, he-
balding.
like Thor.
Like he's just
Got a beard.
he's just like a 2x4 now.
after Total Request Live hits Stick Stickly really hard. That'd be pretty fun. But it's like one of those things though, where like that show was perfect for that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it was over, it was over. That was it.
Have you guys seen Josie and the Pussycats?
Yes.
I have not.
It is. Yeah,
You would love it.
you would love it. It
It's
would
so
truly,
good.
especially now that you've
It's
seen
very
this
meta.
TRL thing.
Oh,
You
okay.
would absolutely. Love
I've
it.
also not seen Spice World. And
I have that on DVD.
It was the 25th anniversary.
Wait,
Like,
Maddie,
just
have you
this
seen
past week.
Josie
Oh
and the
my
Pussycats?
god.
Have you seen Josie and the Biscuits? Yes. You
Yes.
said? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Maybe we'll do a showing at the Guild.
Is
We'll
that,
do it
uh,
with Chris Burnett.
side eye.
is that Tara Reid's in that, right? Tara Reid?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
I-
when she was dating Carson Daly, and he did it too. And so
I did watch
Sorry, Holly
the
watched.
I did watch Special Forces, the World's Toughest Test with Tara Reid on it.
she was there.
And my
taking that
favorite,
test.
my favorite is like
That's
people
like
just think
Rachel
I'm a
Weisz
cartoon,
and
and I'm
Rosario
all,
Dawson, right?
yeah, you are.
I've totally seen that movie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Can we go back to Spice World for a
Yeah,
minute?
yeah, yeah.
So this is a conversation that the three of us have constantly.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Because Smiley and I are obsessed with Spice World.
As you should.
I think it's cinematic
All right. I
mastery.
have a projector and a screen. We could watch it in
the
here.
London.
I have it on DVD.
I can quote it from like beginning to end. I love
Really?
it so much. I love it. We went to it for my brother's birthday,
Wow.
and then it turned into like one of my favorite movies. Like,
You're all, I don't want to watch. Oh my God, I love it.
yes, that's exactly what happened, and I think that's how you're feeling right now too, and how you will
Oh, yeah.
ultimately feel.
No, I'm sure
It's
I'd love
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Very British. I don't know. The
Yes.
humor
Oh,
is
yeah.
really cute, and then like the cameos are unbelievable. I'm sure this is
Yeah.
all the same exact things that everybody
Yeah.
tells you about this movie. Like it really.
I was obsessed with the Spice Girls. I just recently found my collection of Spice Girls suckers.
Oh,
wow.
my gosh, the Chupa Chups.
Yes.
That had the gum and. Mhm.
Wow, you know the name.
And they came
Wow.
with a sticker. I loved the ones that were shaped like a foot and they had sour
Oh,
stuff. But I had a collection of unopened Chupa Chups.
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
Probably worth money.
Restraint.
Yeah.
Well, they would have been,
Oh.
except for at my ex-husband's house, we had mice.
Oh, Mice Girls.
And oh, you're so fast at it. I
Posh
love it.
mice.
Mice.
Baby mice.
Sporty mice.
I
Oh.
still have so much
Scary
love.
mice.
Baby
Word.
mice.
Oh no!
Ginger mice.
I still have so much love for the Spice Girls that so Hamster always tries to get me to watch soccer docs because
Oh, yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, there's this one about David Beckham
Oh, in
and
Victoria.
it's coming out and like it talks, you know, it's a I was like, that's not a soccer doc. I will watch it." And he was so intrigued by how much love I have for Posh because she was my favorite Spice Girl.
My brothers, too. He loved her. Like,
She's-
he was in love with
I
her.
like Sporty.
Me too.
Sporty
'cause
was
that's,
mine,
you know,
yeah.
when a group of friends are like, "You're sporty," and I'm like, "I know what you're saying. I know what you mean."
So what?
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed Ginger.
Yeah, I like.
Do you guys know that Ginger and Scary dated?
I
I
do
did
know
That's
that.
part of the reason why they
Oh.
broke up.
Oh, what?
Mm.
Huh.
Here to-
Interesting.
Spill that spice tea,
I
you
didn't know
know?
that's why. I didn't know that's why that broke up.
Probably.
Interesting. Wow, I did not.
Probably
I did.
reason.
I did not
Contributed.
Yeah.
know that. I watch.
Hearsay.
So I've been watching a lot of like British. Like I watch, of course, the Great British Baking Show.
Oh,
Sure.
But
wonderful.
like I found this like car flipping show called Flipping Bangers, and it's these two little old British men, and they don't buy like a nice car. They buy like the fucking Mini Cooper or the Ford Escort or whatever.
Great.
And it's so British, and they'll be like, they don't even like flip the whole car.
It's Pimp My Ride.
No,
Come on.
No. No, they'll like, well, we're gonna change the oil, and we're gonna put new brakes on the car, and then they'll change the back window out if it's bad, and then maybe paint it.
There's a banger right there.
And then yeah, and it's like the one dude has like big like chops, and they're red, and then they'll buy the car for like 600 quid. And then they'll put like 300 more into it, and then they'll go to sell it, and it's like $1,200. And I'm like, you made like
even?
$300 every single time. And I'm
The
like,
most
and
British
it's-
thing I've ever
it's
heard.
and then like they'll go, we're selling it for 1,500, and the guy will be like, how about 1,300? Yeah, that sounds right. and then that's it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
When capitalism doesn't have a chokehold on your country, then
Yeah. And
That would never happen here.
in the beginning of it, they're like, we both quit our day jobs so we can flip bangers, and it's like, and it's the cute, and you just watch these little dudes, and like they don't do anything crazy, and then they'll get in the car and they're all, I might keep this car myself. I like it a lot, and it's like the smallest little like 4-door tan ugly car, and you're like, it's not a Porsche, it's not like a Ferrari, and they're like, yeah, it's like when these came out, they were like my favorite car on the planet. And you're like, this is absolute, and I can't not watch it.
it's a Camry.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my grandpa, my 93-year-old grandpa. When my Nana first passed away, like, I don't know, 13, 14 years now, he got into buying stuff on Craigslist, and he bought a Ford, I forget what the car was called, Probe, a Ford Probe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he was like, this is such a cute little car. And I thought he was going to like repaint it. And he was like, nope, I'm just going to make it reliable. So some young man can like afford it and buy it. And he would do this like every month.
Yeah. Well,
And he didn't make $300. He made negative $700 on the Ford
Flipping
Probe.
bangers, man.
They'll
That's what it
sometimes
is.
lose money, but every time they'll be like, someone, they're like, yeah, I'm buying it for my kid's first car, and you're like, what car show is this? You know, like I'm used to the American one. They're like,
Flipping bangers.
we want 40,000 for this. Yeah.
It just sounds like a middle school boy talking about something he's lying about. He's like, no, this weekend with all the chicks, I was flipping bangers,
Right.
man. I was really, no cap.
Yeah. What I love is like I love their language too. When they're like deciding what they're gonna fix on the car because they don't fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll decide. And he's all right. Let's get cracking. And I just love it. I'm like these
Do they
people
teach you? Do they teach you how to fix the thing?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
So
and
that's
they're
nice.
like they're like when you're replacing the brake caliper. It's like
And you got yourself your own banger.
yeah. And he's like you could probably buy these for about 40 quid.
Now you might be worried about the boot, but
Yes. He's all
got a lot of room.
when you're going to change this out, you might as well go ahead and change this out because the new part's going to put stress on the old one. And you're like, good point. It's like watching like your dad do a car show.
PBS.
Yeah. And it's so nice. It's so wholesome.
This
and it's
old
like,
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this old house.
Oh my
Remember
God.
that show?
So I have a really funny story. Like my friend was from Boston and we were hungover one day and we're like laying, it's like a Sunday and the TV's on and this is like pre-streaming sites. And we're flipping through the channels and this old house is on. And they're like from Boston, right? They're like fucking Boston. So the guy's like the guy is outside in the yard. I'll never forget this because it just was hilarious. And they're doing yard work. And he's like, when you're going to till the yard, you want to do it about 3 knuckles deep. And like, fucking,
I had to buy a drink first.
and I'm like, and we just start laughing. And like, I'm like, and then, so anything from that day on was like, you know, when you want to do this, you're going to want to go down 3 knuckles deep.
I have a friend. I used to have a friend. His metal band was called Knuckles Deep,
Wow.
Oh.
and they were sponsored by a whiskey that had a cock on it.
Oh.
It always trips me out when a band is sponsored by like something. It's they're like we're sponsored by, you know,
Crazy
more."
Town brought to you by Reebok.
Right.
Mega Records.
And to be fair, I did see in concert Kid Rock sponsored by Jim Beam once.
Oh.
And he had a bar in the background and they had his turntables in the bar. So when he was
It's actually called a bar with the bar.
and so when he was doing the mixing, he was pouring shots while he was like doing the turntables.
That is the most Kid Rock thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. I mean, Sheryl Crow was also there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Somebody's got to take the pictures.
Who sponsored her?
Some sort of camera company, probably.
right.
I went to a Sheryl Crow concert sponsored by Jeep, and my
Oh,
mom.
with Train.
Yes.
And
wow.
Tonic was there, and so was Howie Day.
And was it also the one where Bob Marley's son,
Son.
Ziggy Marley?
Oh, yeah?
I got to meet Ziggy Marley.
Really?
Well, he was high and walking around. I was a little.
Ziggy Marley was what?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But I felt so special because my mom drove a Jeep. It was a banger. But we get there and they're like, "Oh, you get to park in the special upfront parking because this is sponsored by Jeep." And my mom's like, "See, I told you this car would pay off someday."
Cara Johnson says
Now we're closer to Train.
Dale Watson is
you're welcome.
sponsored by Lone Star Beer. That is correct.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's in his contract, his rider, that when he plays somewhere, they have to have Lone Star Beer. So Launchpad always has to go get, because they don't sell it. They have to go buy it, and then he'll just hand it out on stage.
No, well, that's fun.
That'll be us someday.
But with the caps on, the caps are the best part.
Yeah. Does he also include like picture riddles in his,
Right?
his sets?
Oh.
I'm just saying, I'm jealous. Lone Star. I mean, I love our Topo Chico sponsor. They're
course.
amazing. But
You know, we can have that happen.
what, Lone Star Beer?
I can have it happen where they'll just bring us Topo Chico when we're on stage.
Oh,
Oh my god.
yeah, they will.
Which
We're gonna have a Topo Chico delivery.
I found
We
out.
can also have that happen when y'all do your
Right.
live podcast.
Well, we're gonna bring Topo Chico.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I can be the person that brings you the
Oh, sick.
On stage.
on stage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's like kind of
Nice.
my whole job at Dry Heat. I'm just kidding.
We haven't even announced that yet. That's not even
I'm sorry.
announced.
I'm sorry.
And there's
Sorry.
4
It was
viewers.
a teaser.
Sorry.
Spoiler.
Little teasers.
That's just a picture riddle.
We're gonna talk
Here for the
about that.
spoiler. That was a picture.
So okay, so you guys are here because you're our friends, number one, but also you guys have a big event coming up.
We do. We've got One Liner Madness next Sunday, and it's over at the Launchpad, like
Welcome
it was
to
last year.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like how that is.
What time is it at?
It's at 7:30.
Sweet.
And yeah, so ideally you guys will get done and head right over,
Yeah.
and then all of your listeners and watchers will also be like, time to head over to Launchpad.
Yeah.
I want to say to the listeners out there right now, this is a blast.
Yeah.
I had so much fun last year. And like at first I was like, what is it? And then like they explained it and I was like, okay, that seems chaos. It was not. It was amazing. You guys killed it, of course. It was professional. It was amazing. And once you announced it, I saw and I was like, ah, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
super
chaos.
stoked.
So what is it? Say it. Say it.
Well, okay. First thing, just to like kind of piggyback off of what you said. I've had friends come out to lots of shows and be very, very supportive, and then come to that one just kind of because Kelly and I were like,
They like us.
this is the one, you got to come to this
Yeah.
one. And then they
Yeah.
left it being like, this is the greatest comedy show
Right.
I've ever gone to.
There are photos that our photographer took last year of people. Like, he was great. His name's Diego. I'm sure you know him, but he
And he's coming back this year too.
Yeah. He'll come back. He took photos from the stage of behind the performers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was so cool.
People. Well, first of all, we packed out the Launchpad last
it's
year.
packed.
So
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like
So you're gonna want to
330
get
people.
there. You're gonna want to get there early.
And
Buy
get
your
tickets
tickets
right
ahead
away.
of
Yeah,
time,
because
yeah.
we super sold out.
And
so.
also, they're $5 off if you buy them ahead of time. So it's like whatever.
So
more
go get
more
them
money
now.
to spend on drinks. But
And there's
But-
drinking there.
Yeah.
yes, there is. But in the pictures that Diego took from the stage, everyone is like screaming their face off because it is like very different than a normal comedy show in that like the audience is encouraged to like it feels much more like a rock show.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like very audibly react to the jokes. You're supposed to like cheer on the ones that you want to win.
Yes.
It's very fun.
So the show itself is you go from 64 comedians, 64 comedians on one comedy show, which I know sometimes when you tell people that in Albuquerque, they're like, I've been
Oh
to a
my
show like
God.
that. I'm not going to do it.
It sounds overwhelming.
It does.
It's
But
not.
It's a bracket tournament, just like March Madness.
You know what would be amazing though? If all 64 were on stage at once and then
Just cacophony. Yeah.
just doing their jokes all at the same time.
Just like a full Squid Game.
Oh man.
situation.
Taking them out. No, with Nerf darts. But like,
Yeah.
No, so they go from 64, and then just like March Madness, it's a bracket tournament where they go up against each other with only one-liner jokes. So set up.
Can I
punchline.
show the bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
We have the
I'm
bracket.
kind of scared because of where I am. In
So
the
we
bracket.
just released the bracket today, and we haven't done it publicly. We've only done it to the comedians. So this is the first time anywhere that anybody is from the public or anybody is going to get to see the different matchups that we have. And there are some really interesting. We put some randomizer to create.
Really?
And
Yes.
so
Can we move some around? I'd like to change it.
we
I'm just
can't.
kidding.
Yeah.
I'm
Lock it
kidding.
in.
I'm kidding. Ooh.
So the winner last year was Josh Fournier. So
That's
he
right, yeah.
is he cannot
Ineligible.
participate.
For real?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because
he
he's
won.
won.
Oh, he's a champ.
So this is also why Sarah cannot participate because she has won in Queens when it was
So
out in Queens.
can you can't do it ever again?
She judges.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is he judging?
He's not the
I
same.
mean, he'll do it in his own special way, but he doesn't have to do it in any sort of like professional
He
capacity.
can judge from the sidelines.
Oh, I see
No,
Holly
but
on here.
I
Yeah,
think
so we can zoom into the brackets if you want to, and we can like see some of the because
Oh.
there are some
we have
very
a few
notable.
that we're very
I don't think
excited
it'll
about.
let me zoom in.
Oh.
I tried to. I tried.
I watched him try. This
See,
is as zoomed in as it gets.
Yeah.
That's
Dang.
pretty good. Yeah.
Well, we can still point out some matchups that we want to highlight. Also important to note, we did not create this show. We are bringing out the creators of the show. Amber, who wrote for Nickelodeon and has
Oh,
written
yeah.
for the New York Times and all this stuff, is
Quite the gamut there.
in
Yeah, she's
NPR.
incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing. She is the creator of One Liner Madness, and she does it all over the country. She does it usually always in LA and New York, but
LA.
she's been to like Chicago and
Pittsburgh last
and
year.
Atlanta, I think, and
They've
lots
done
of
it in
different
Phoenix.
places.
Yeah. So they take it all over.
Yeah. So it's very kind of her to come bring it to.
There's in a row.
Does
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
does she like bring it in like a briefcase that's
Yeah.
like chained to her like wrist?
Yeah.
She
you
shows
go,
up the
guys.
launch pad and then opens the briefcase and it like unfolds
Oh,
into
yeah.
a giant.
That'd be amazing. I like that.
Yeah.
Emily and I became really good.
You were on her
friends.
podcast.
Yeah, I was on her
She's got a great
podcast.
podcast.
She also, I was in the middle of a writing meltdown, which writers / comedian meltdown, and she so happened to post a reel about like if you're having problems, like ask me a question. I shot her a message, and she wrote me back,
Yeah,
and she gave me
she's
great
so nice.
advice.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She's great.
She's like incredibly driven and so smart and so kind. So
And so, okay, so we got 64 comedians. They all go like 1-to-1 one-liners all the way down. We go bracket by bracket, and then we do the final 4, and then we do the final 2, and then we have a winner, and it all happens in 90 minutes.
Let me see if I can.
I think you're all pretty excited about who Holly is up against.
Oh my
perhaps.
god, I'm nervous.
And have you seen who you're up against?
I just saw it when
Okay.
you sent it, and I am nervous.
So-
TJ Jones.
TJ Jones out of Santa Fe, New Mexico.
That guy's a killer. He's a fucking killer.
He's also
Oh,
a very sweet man.
And a great DJ.
Yeah.
you say a great DJ?
He's a great DJ.
Wait a minute. He's
He flips
T-
bangers.
the
he's
DJ?
TJ the DJ.
Yes, he does. He flips bangers every day.
No, what would be amazing though is if he's Jones the DJ.
Oh, Jones. the DJ.
Like I love. Have you ever watched Club Dread? My favorite joke is they tell that whole thing, and his name is Phil Coletti, and they're calling it, and like they tell the whole joke, and they're like, that's why he's Machete Phil. And then as you think about it, you're like, his name could have been Machete Coletti,
Yeah.
but they called it Machete Phil. And it took me like 30 minutes, and I sat there and I was like, that is a fucking great joke. So that'd be late. I'm TJ Jones, known as DJ Jones.
I'm trying to see where. So the runner-up last year was Jake Otero.
And
Oh.
he's in the first bracket this time. He's
Yeah.
going
He
up
is
against.
going against Matthew Petit.
Yes.
Petit? I don't know.
Matthew Petit is like.
I don't think some of these are real people.
Oh, yeah. Find
Matthew
out for
Petit is
yourself.
very
on
small.
Sunday.
No, he's great. He's incredible.
64 enter. one person leave.
Yeah, fully. But they all will leave, but
Not the champion.
yeah.
No, actually, you get to live in the launchpad for
Yeah.
a whole year.
Oh, that'd be
Ask
terrible.
Josh about that. Yeah.
God, that'd be terrible. Where do
That's
you
why
live?
he's not going to be there this year, probably.
Yeah,
Just
he's
kidding.
like-
One of
Get
the
me
most
outta here.
notable matchups that we have, though, is Tito Dameron against Carla Vasquez, because
Oh.
they host a mic together and they're very, very close friends, and they aren't together in the they go against each other in the first round in the last bracket.
In the last bracket, not the first round. Of the
First
last-
round, last bracket.
So who
Oh,
is,
yeah,
who
yeah.
is Doc? It just says Doc.
Doc. He's a mainstay here in Albuquerque.
Oh,
Comedy.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
he's really
Oh,
He's
alright.
a true doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He is, I believe, the father of Whimper, the street artist.
I kind of want to bring
Yeah.
something up though.
Yeah.
Did you see I'm a March Madness kind of guy.
Uh-huh.
So I like to look and go, ooh, if someone wins, then do you see who is your potential matchup?
Yeah, I sure did. And I'm a little whoop.
Oh, there's
Oh, yeah.
actually either one of them.
Yeah.
It's either Zach Abeda or Kurt Fletcher.
And I'm not scared of Kurt. I'm not scared of Kurt.
Kurt was the favorite to win last year.
Oh, yeah,
He
everybody
got
was
out in the
panicking.
first round last time.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
people were like
wild.
stunned.
Kate Anilla went almost all. Did she go? She went to the final four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
She was so funny because she was like, this is randomized. It's randomly picked. But
Yeah.
last year, Kate Anilla helps us with dry heat stuff. She's on the dry heat staff. So she was like, I do want to participate, but like I'll put myself up against Kurt so that I'll get out in the first round and then I can help you. Like man the booth and whatever.
Oh, famous last word.
And then she got all the way to the final four and we were like, she was like, I'm so sorry. We were like,
So-
go, go, go.
Okay, so let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've seen it, right? So do people? I'm gonna pull the bracket down.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe this is for comedians watching.
Mm-hmm.
And you may or may not answer this. What's the strategy here? Is the strategy to because you've got to write 4 one-liners,
Six to win.
6 to win.
I mean, you can't write for it, but
And by the way, comedians, I'm on the internet all day. You steal some fucking memes, I know it.
The crowd
watching you.
knows it.
I'm watching you. You're stealing memes. I'm gonna yell it out. Stealing memes. Unless you wrote the meme, then go for it. I don't care. But so you got to write 6 jokes. Now, some of those 6 are gonna be soft.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, I would think you got to write like 10.
You should come with
Yeah.
more than 6 because last year in particular we
Yeah.
had a couple matchups that they were like one more joke, and so you would, and then like honestly the time that I won in Queens it was like that too where it got down
Yeah.
to it and it was like one more, and I just had
y'all
a
did
couple-
like 3 rounds of
Yeah.
one more again.
that's
So-
what Jake and Josh did too last year.
So then, like, the question is, do you have a banger to start? That's the word for the day.
Yeah.
Do you fire out on all cylinders right away to make sure you get to the next round? Do you hold? But because if you don't get past the first round, you wasted all those jokes. What's the strategy? You won. You're a champion.
You always go with your strongest ones first because
Really?
ideally you hope that everybody else's tank is emptying at the same rate as yours.
Yeah.
And so your third place joke might match up with somebody else's third place joke too, and then you might be able to eke it out anyway. And so always go with your strongest joke first. Because even if you go out, at least you're like, ooh, that was still good.
You beat me on that. Good
There-
job.
There is some potential strategy by like that you can do by looking at the bracket and being like, okay, cool. I know I'm up against whoever. They have a very specific signature style.
Interesting.
So you can like kind of strategize a little bit, but honestly, it's so much chaos that like personally, I'm not a comedian, but I would like I don't know how anyone thinks like
Are there any
on their
non-comedians
feet.
in this?
This year, no.
think
Everybody,
so.
I mean, really, truly, everybody is
Oh.
tried and true.
There's different levels, so there's different
Sure.
like, you know, you have like mainstays of the comedy community here,
Yeah.
like Kurt, right? And then you have and Holly, and then you have people like Doc, who you called out earlier, who have been doing this for maybe a year, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know,
I choked last year
Oh, okay.
on one of my jokes. I messed up the delivery. and that sucked.
And the judges were also like, well, we want to see more. What?
Yeah.
And then like, we're like, no, Holly, no.
Yeah, I choked.
wondered
And
what
I was
happened.
really sick
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
year.
you weren't feeling good.
Oh, here we
And-
go. Here
no,
we
no,
go.
no. It's not
She was, she
My
was.
arm
Her flu
hurts.
game.
no. I had
They won that game.
I had a gallbladder flare up, and I was like, no, I still have to do it. Like, I have to do it. And
Holly
I
is a
did
champ.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But then I got to that last one, and I was like, fuck.
No, I was proud of you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. And
you
then
did great.
And then I was just like, please don't ask me to do
I
one
mean,
more joke. I can't do it.
You're not a champion, but
Yeah, I'm not a champion, but I'm coming to win. But
Yeah, this year.
here's the thing. I hope I go up against Kurt because I know every single one of Kurt's jokes.
I need to Phil Jackson you. You know? I'll be all.
I need a pep talk.
You know, Holly Ann, you're gonna need. You can't do this. You're not capable. I don't know why you joined and you tried. And
I will tell you, it is kind of what is the
don't
word?
even try to prove me wrong.
What is the word? Like discombobulating.
It can be. It's
Oh, I'm
really
sure,
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I forgot. I came with 11 jokes last year and forgot all of them.
Oh,
and
that's
then
fair,
just
yeah.
had to like, I know a couple of things I could turn into one-liners.
Well, you also have to think that, like, so it's in Launchpad, which is very different than
Yeah.
most comedy stages,
Yes.
including Dry Heat. Like, I don't think it could be more different from Dry Heat because Dry Heat is like a 45.
Well,
Cedar.
it doesn't smell.
Hey.
Normally, yes, that is true.
There's not. Let's do another one. There's not constantly water on the bathroom floor.
Oh,
Dry Heat.
don't put that on
more
us.
than
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna
that's
say
We're not in charge of our own
the
bathrooms.
bathrooms are more of a wet heat, really. But
Yeah.
but I say this because like in Launchpad, like last year, y'all were playing to an audience of like 330, which we had like packed out Launchpad. People were like hanging out over the rafters and everything. Hello. And then the stage itself is like what, like 6 times as big,
It's big. It's
wide
big boy.
as the thing, and then it's like 4 feet off
Way
the
tall,
ground.
and it's really hard to get on and off.
So-
Launchpad, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're a comedian on the Launchpad stage, if you've never been on a stage like that, I'm sure it's probably very intimidating, but it's also very cool.
It was awesome. I will say it was really motivating when I walked out and
hold on.
everybody cheered.
They haven't seen the things. We found this out. You can do that. You can do the one. We won't do it. Let's see. There it goes. You can do the. What was that? We found. What else?
Can you do down?
No, you can do 2,
Oh, two.
and it does fireworks.
That's right.
Whoa!
But for weeks, we were like, what is happening?
Yeah. What was the other one we found? We found another one.
I don't know.
Is it a heart? Can you do like a hand heart?
I don't know. I think
Don't
Yeah,
do that.
try.
It's
Oh,
cute. That's not cute.
No.
Yeah.
was it heart? I don't know. There was. Yeah.
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 You redeemed yourself. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't do that.
I was like, okay. I wasn't doing it not to. But sorry.
I have a tattoo that is slightly that hand signal, but it's upside down to make a uterus out of hands.
Oh.
Cool. And also for the game. So you can punch
Yeah,
people.
that too. But there are so many people that think it's something else, and I'm
Right.
like, I'm not that. Just anyway,
Someone June Powell comedy
Oh,
says,
June Opal.
June.
I love June.
Says
June's
we
great.
love
June's on the show too. June's
Yeah,
gonna
June
murder.
is gonna go up against. Hold on.
says we love dry heat.
June's
Where
in
is
that
she?
second.
I love a dry heat as well.
Yeah, that's why we all live here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's up against.
Not,
I'm gonna-
we have no dry heat right now though.
No,
Very wet,
it is
cold.
awfully humid out there.
Yeah.
hold on. Oh yeah, June is in the first bracket.
Oh.
She's up against Santa Fe's Corey Herrera.
That guy's a killer, man.
Yeah,
Lots of one-liners too. Out of
Killer.
yeah. But we have full confidence in June. She's also crushing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
We'll see.
I'm just kidding.
Also,
I don't
someone,
know. I don't know. That.
someone else to watch is Libby T.
Yes.
Who's a local comic. She's awesome. She is pregnant currently.
yes, she
So-
is.
Yeah. So she's. I guess it's 2 against 1 in her case.
yeah.
but-
one-linering for 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
But last year, I think how many one-liners did she write for last year?
She wrote like
It
16,
was like-
17, and then showed up and was like ready to go.
I thought she told me it was like 70.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah, and then she was like, I've
60.
narrowed
come on,
it
Sarah.
down.
Come on,
yeah.
Sarah.
I didn't count.
But
Were you even there?
Yeah, I was there. We only get 6.
I'm just kidding.
I love Libby. She told me very early in her pregnancy that she was pregnant, and we both screamed for joy because I'm like,
I love that.
I'm gonna have a comedy mom friend.
Yay.
I'm super excited for that too.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be.
She is.
I'm indifferent. Very indifferent about it.
fair. Yeah.
More community. That's always the
Yeah.
best.
We're stoked.
I'm like, yay, more family jokes. I'm kidding. I'm
How
kidding.
dare you, Christopher?
I'm kidding. I kid. I'm joking. No, I'm excited for this though, man. This was
gonna be.
this
fun.
was one of those things where like I was like, yeah, I'll go and support my. And then I was like those people. Then I went. I was like, well, that was a fucking cool. You know, that was like crazy. Like it's like rapid fire machine gun comedy.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I don't even care if I win.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's what we tell people to do because everybody gets eliminated
right
in the first.
attitude.
Like half of the comedians get eliminated in the first round. So
Me too.
we try really, really hard to be like, guys, half of you are getting eliminated in the first round. So this show is bigger than you winning and bigger than it's just about getting to like show off Albuquerque comedy and hang out and do like really cool things.
And if you're an audience member and you're like, I don't really go to comedy normally, like I don't know what to expect or whatever. This is a really good show to go to because you're probably going to see, you're going to see pretty much all, if not the vast majority of all of the local comics working in the scene right now. And so you get like a tiny, teeny
Microdose.
preview
Yeah.
of who you could like then look for on a lineup if you're like, oh my gosh, I love that person, you know? So it's a great way to sort of like have a sampler platter of Albuquerque comedy.
I'm gonna go back to what Holly Ann said, and I'm gonna Phil Jackson a little more. And of course, you're happy with just being there because you're not a champion. You won't win. You won't win. I wouldn't even have tried this. I wouldn't.
Chris, this is why people think we hate each other.
Yeah.
This is.
I'm
the professional negging
I'm
is-
trying to get you to win. I want you to be a champion.
There is a very real world in which you go up against Kurt in the second round.
Yeah.
And then
And you cut him off at the fucking knees, and then it ends a
Sweep the
friendship.
leg, and then
Ends
you-
a friendship.
Can I just say, so last year I went up against Royal.
Oh yeah.
And it-
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
It is one of my favorite moments I've ever had in
Well,
comedy.
and you guys were not really friends.
We
at
were
that time.
beefing.
Yeah.
And I'm
Beef
going
at
to
that point,
say
yeah.
something. It fixed our friendship. Because here's what happened.
Everybody in the audience was like,
Yeah.
And
You could
feel
hear it. Yeah.
You could feel it. And all of our friends were like, I didn't know who to cheer for. Because we have a lot of mutual friends because we've been friends for so long. And we were beefing. And we went up there and we looked at each other. And it was like old times. And then we hugged each other and we got off stage. And you could feel
Yeah.
the tension. Like everybody's like, oh no, what's going to happen? Are they going to roast each other? What's going to happen?
I was not gasping. I was like, you're the best around. Nothing's gonna stop you from being the best.
But literally, after one liner, we fixed everything.
Yeah.
And it was literally that moment that we were just like, this is why we're friends. Because we have so much fun together.
You know, one-liner comedy, rap battle, whatever. Whatever fixes the friendship. You know?
But it was a really cute moment because I purposely was like, oh, I'm going to tell my joke about if being a mom was easy, they would call it being a dad because he's a dad.
Oh.
And my delivery was great because I knew it was going to make him laugh because I don't tell jokes like that. It was a very royal joke, and it fixed our friendship. So if you want to fix a friendship, go to One-Liner Madness.
Also dance battle. Also fixes
Yes.
friendships.
It's
Find-
true.
Dance
I've
battles.
seen
Dance,
breaking.
dance battles fix friendships and save rec centers.
Yep, it's true.
And what about flipping bangers? Does that
Now that doesn't make you much money, but
Fixes
it's
the bangers.
but you know it'll get somebody's kid a new car.
fixes the caliper at least?
Yeah, a reliable auto, a reliable auto,
Which
With a
is what
good
really
boot.
matters.
a good reliable auto. Just a general all-around good car. Oh, someone in the chat says I've never had a dance battle. Do you even live?
Yeah. Are you even from here?
Wow,
I had a dance battle with my 2-year-old today.
interesting.
He challenges me to dance battles now, and it's pretty cool.
Who
Sick.
wins?
He does all the time
Yeah.
because his moves are
Well, Sarah,
great. High caliber.
Well, you guys lived in New York. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they just happen randomly all the
Do you,
time.
you don't need
throw
one
that
time. Okay, one time
cardboard?
Kelly and I were on the subway, and one of the best parts about being on the
this
subway
is
is
so
that
funny.
you can sometimes get showtime, which is just like some youths dancing on the subway.
yeah, they go,
Showtime,
to raise
and
money
then-
from to.
Oh.
So we were not in the Showtime car, but you could see it through the windows, and that's always the funniest thing. It's way better than watching Showtime happen, is to watch people watching Showtime
gotcha.
from a car over,
Yeah.
because they some of them are very into it, and then some of them hate it and will
avoid.
avoid eye contact and not even. And then sometimes they get kicked in the eyes just because of the moves that are happening on a very
Yeah, yeah,
small
yeah.
subway car.
I've seen this where they're like spinning around the pole.
They
And
do
like,
the whole thing. They make it look like they're walking. They catch
Yeah.
a hat on their foot. They do all. It's very cool.
incredible.
I love Showtime.
yeah.
But
I'm
it also,
pro time Showtime, but
it happens during your commute more often than not. So like after the like
How
60th,
badass is that?
After the 60th Showtime, you're like this,
guys, not today.
you know,
but
or some people might.
I'm just used
So
to.
we
I'm-
love it.
I'm just used to being on the art bus, and our showtime is drunk guy screaming.
Yeah,
We don't get the cool
So we
guy
get that too, but
doing the
gotten used
moonwalk.
to that.
the best part about this one particular day
Yeah.
was that we were in the car next to Showtime, and then Showtime ended, and they go, "Thanks, everybody, goodbye," and then they like immediately exit into our car, and then they sit down.
and it was just us really in the car besides them.
Yeah, and then they just immediately started having a feedback session about how Showtime went. And the like more senior of the Showtime dancers was like, "Hey man, like you're really working on that thing, and thanks for showing up today with that. And you got the high octane moves, and you got the thing." And like, so you
Today-
just gotta
What
really
if I
focus on-
went first?
Today
It's
on
like-
Behind the Showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just so, yeah, exactly. There was a lot of that too, where it's like, no, man, I think you really need to like, there was like some real conflict and some real tension being built
Yeah.
too, with it being like, no, man, I think you actually need to focus a little bit more on your hat tricks. And like,
Okay, you've got the hat tricks. I've got the high octane moves. That's why I go first and you go
Oh,
second.
wow.
Da da da. You just focus on your stuff. It was so funny.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the ego was like filling up the car.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was like watching, I don't like HR at like Goldman Sachs. Like it was really like one of those
Yeah,
situations where
truly.
it's like, all right, you are meeting expectations on your hat
Wow.
tricks, but you are below expectations on
Yeah.
your high octane moves. And it was
That's awesome.
That's what Chris does to Smiley and I
Oh, yeah.
every day, every Sunday
we
after the show.
we wave goodbye to you guys. And I'm like, all right, shut the door.
Who has
Everybody
the
sit
high
down.
octane moves?
yeah, it was the high octane.
Smiley.
Smiley.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to smoke for this one. It's gonna be pretty hard.
Smiley's high octane moves are
I'm
when
all, guys,
he tells
guys,
a story.
guys, go on ahead and come into my office and shut the door behind you.
Holly, you talk too much about the kids today.
Yeah, let's rewatch the video. All right, stop, pause, right here. Yeah,
Holly, if you could stop making that face.
see this one right here. That would be pretty amazing. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna, get ready for the waving hour. Because I think we have some crazy shit to talk
Oh,
about.
I for sure have.
Are you
some
guys
crazy
sticking
shit.
around? You guys gonna
Yes,
hang?
of
Yeah.
course. If you have us.
I mean,
Yes.
ideally, yeah.
Well, there's some downtown shit going on that I kind of want your opinion on because I have an opinion about it.
Okay.
There's some crazy shit going on. I don't know if you guys know this. Do you guys know what's going on?
Some.
All right. There's a downtown establishment that they're trying to shut down.
Oh yeah.
You do know what I'm talking about now, eh?
Big gasp.
I don't
Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, you don't?
Is it dry
Okay.
heat? No, just kidding.
Oh,
You have to tell us if it's dry heat right now. We can't
I
go
would
to break like
riot.
that.
I'm going to tease that, but
I know what you're talking about.
I think you do.
I
yeah.
read that article.
Yeah. I read a couple of articles and I've also like talked to some people.
I feel,
Interesting.
I feel like I do know what it is, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Oh, it's
so.
a place that we all know and maybe love and maybe don't.
I did some joke writing there once.
I only go there to buy cigarettes.
Okay. So
What is happening right now?
so this Sunday
Is it our house?
at Launchpad.
We sell cigarettes at our house.
You sell Lucy's? Oh.
No.
That's
full
why
pack.
we're getting shut
Yeah.
down. It's definitely not legal.
So this Sunday at Launchpad, what's 7:30?
7:30.
How much does it cost to get in?
15 bucks in advance, 20 at the door.
Nice.
And get your tickets in advance if you want to come, because
Yeah.
we had to turn away a lot of people last year.
Yeah.
And we did 20 at the door because we know you'll have to use the ATM.
Yeah,
so
it's
it
easier.
just makes it easier.
Oh, that's smart. I like that. Yeah, that's smart.
It's for you.
And it's well
Yeah.
worth. I mean,
Yeah.
it will sell out.
It will.
Yeah. It's
So buy
fun
the
time.
tickets online.
And it's so fun.
If anything, you should just come to cheer Holly on.
Yeah.
As they're
yes.
with their march, towards the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have to do this next year.
Yeah, and you get to live in
Chris
Launchpad.
knows-
Get
Chris
it out of the
knows
way.
I'm super stressed about it. I actually do get.
Just get it out of the way.
It's not my typical
Okay, go ahead and win that.
writing style,
just
so
win
I
it.
just want to win it. So
Yeah.
I can never.
You can be a judge next
You
year.
can win it. You
Yeah.
can relax. You can carry your title belt around. You get a title belt, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think you get a
I
trophy.
will make that
You get a
tomorrow.
trophy. And this small
Yeah, you
cash
do get a
prize.
trophy. Yeah, a trophy and a small cash prize.
I mean, I could use a small cash prize, guys.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You're a shoo-in.
And
That's
also,
why you win.
It's like a $2 bill or something.
Oh, I like that.
We actually got somebody came to Dry Heat very recently and paid entirely in $2 bills, and we are. I've never seen so many.
I used to know this
$2
dude
bills.
who would only get paid in $2 bills,
Oh my gosh.
and he was crazy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna be Danny because
Mm-hmm.
somebody gives her a $2 bill, I think, for her birthday every year because it's like lucky. And so she won't spend them, but she's saving them for college.
No.
And I don't have the heart to tell her that's not gonna be a drop in the bucket.
Maybe they'll become really, really rare and like
Well,
worth
they're.
something.
I think
Oh,
they,
it's free right
I don't
now.
think they made them. Oh yeah, it is free. Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking classes. I was like, are you seriously? All I have to do is buy books.
Have
I
you
love
met my
this.
child? She's gonna want to do college in France because she met a
College.
ventriloquist or
Oh
something.
no, yeah, the $2 bills are not going to work.
So, do you have any besides
Oh,
Sunday?
sorry.
Do you have anything going?
Besides Sunday, I don't. I don't believe I do. Oh, can I make the announcement?
Save it.
Let's save it for
Save
the
it.
second hour.
Save it.
Well, then
Stick around
She
for the
has an
second hour.
announcement.
in this
Big,
Coming
big,
up.
big announcement. Second hour.
Yeah, I actually have two big announcements.
Because
in the
we want to
second
talk
one.
about it a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We're gonna have yeah. Big announcement. Is that all? Is all you?
That's it.
Smiley got anything? You back to work?
Nothing I can talk about.
Okay. Other than this show, I don't know if we're gonna do the whole month, but the last two shows of the month
Yeah.
are going to be about the 2000s.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We haven't done a show like that in a while. We did a show about the 80s. We did a show.
Yeah.
We did a show. We did a show
Y2K.
about the 90s. And you guys are welcome to come back on that if
Yeah,
you want.
heck
So we're going to do the 2000s from 2000 to, we're going to do 2000 to 2005 on the first podcast. And then on the second one, we're going to do 2005 to 2010.
And this is conveniently all my awkward years.
Well,
I had a show in New York that was called Letters to the 2000s, where we would just bring people on to like write letters to things that happened then. It's like a
They would-
throwback.
They would
Ooh.
spray people with love spell.
And then everybody would get a shot of hypnotic.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Also, you know, we
It's
talked
so
about the
cool.
alcohol, like aftershock,
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Tequila Rose came
Ew.
out in the
Oh,
2000s.
tequila rose.
tequiza.
Oh, woo. Yeah. Oh, boy.
So anyway, so we're gonna do that. That'll be coming up. Those are some shows that are coming up to look forward to. We're firing on all cylinders.
We are.
This is going to be the year of 10 drink minimum. We have big plans. So go to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna,
Please. Smash that like and subscribe.
Apple Podcast, leave us a review, do all those things.
Unless it's a bad review, don't leave
Yeah, I
that.
don't give a fuck.
I like those too.
Yeah.
They're fun to read.
Yeah,
It makes me cry though.
1-star reviews
Just
from my favorite. I'm you know what I missed? Like one of my favorite segments on the show was read 1-star reviews from Joe's.
Oh my god. I miss Joe's every day.
Joe's.
I wish your announcement was that Joe's was coming back.
Oh, me too.
I don't know if I would want that.
Is it weird that I loved their pizza?
I loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It was
had
so
pizza.
good.
Butter crust. We used to call it turtle pizza because it was the only pizza in town that would pull the cheese. The same way the Ninja Turtle
Oh, yeah.
cheese would pull it with the
Like
best.
for real. So yeah, so stick around for the second hour. We'll be right back. We're gonna go use the restroom and smoke or whatever people do. With that, we are
10 drink
minimum.
Lay down and sleep in your cozy little bed. Don't be a sheet. Somebody call, don't be afraid. Hey. Arms healing, shadows speak, but they ain't breathing. They're deceiving you again. Oh, creaks even when there's no one around. Lens of control, feel it keep you down. Would you wait another day to hit the ground? Yeah. And we try. Curtain, shine a spotlight on the forehead. You absorb the sweat. Tired voices to the stigma you created, unabated in your head. And I know the floor creaks even when there's no one around. Oh, creaks even when there's no one. Under control, keep you down. You wait another day to hit the ground. Oh, explore it. It will be the season. And we try. Under control, to feel it keep you down. Did you wait another day to hit the ground? Explore again. It will be the season. And we try. Supposed to live without you. Here we are, the play is on. Me without you. Little things volunteered us down. I'm speaking of wishes for the days they could be better. Don't feel right. I swear the world's above and I want to say what was for us. What could be better? How do we do that? Take a breath on our backs, minds, to the starting. My days next to your skin. Chase it on. Was it you? Your face is right out. I've got some to knock at you. Walk to the corner of the shed. The bottom sky so they might be. Floating is mine, I can't waste little things from to your sky. I'm speaking of wishing for the things they could be better. Don't see right, I'll just wait. Words above and I want it. Sing the portion for us. What could be better? How can we do right? To the best song, our backs and straight up to the starting. My days next to your skin. Chase it on, chase it on. Hear that sound, it's the sound of you taking me down. Here I sit down, that look is mine. Without the sound, boy, let's go right. Go on, Chuck, it's like somebody. Just the same, let's all readily incline. A ghost floating in the rays of mind and mind. The path set for a certain kind of time. Machine to take me to the top of one we met. Chase it on. You hear that sound? It's the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes signal, that look is mine. The back says, boy, that's alright. Yes. Come on, just a slice of what we had.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 15, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for a reason, and all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Oh, gravy. We're back, all you dirty hot dogs.
Oh, gravy.
Welcome to 10 Drink Minimum. Oh, you like that music, Duke City Warrior. That is our old co-host, Billy Belmont, who is currently making a new record, I believe. And he's out performing in different places.
Practicing
man.
at the house like every day.
Yeah. Man. Interesting. So, Holly Ann is here.
I am here. Hello.
Yames, I think, is it a soft J? Smiley?
Sometimes. I like to go by Smiley, but James works.
I saw this meme earlier, and they're all, don't name your kid James, name him James. It's one person. And I was like, I like that's really fun.
It was fun
Yeah.
learning how to pluralize James. It's like, oh, it's just an apostrophe.
Yeah.
There's no extra S.
And from Dry Heat Comedy Club downtown, we have Kelli and Sarah.
Hey, hi.
So
What up?
I guess let's do this announcement. Get it out of the way. Partay.
Yeah. So if you are part of our Facebook, what's it called? 10 Drink Underground.
10 Drink Minimum Underground on Facebook groups.
Whoa.
You may have seen that I might have teased that we're having a special exclusive event for members of our underground group.
Underground.
10 drink minimum under the table.
Oh, that sounds
It's a fight club. No, I'm
that
just
sounds
kidding.
like a video I once saw. So our good friend Ming Chen is coming to town.
Boom. From the TV show Comic Book Men,
Yes.
from the movie Clerks 3,
yes.
from the movie Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Strike Back. Oh,
Reboot.
I met him and was mean to him at press club and didn't believe him that he did all those things.
You were mean, Chin.
And that's how, that's how we became best friends because that's just the kind of guy he is.
Right.
He will be in town, and on January 18th, Dry Heat has graciously allowed us to do a takeover. So we're going to have an exclusive.
Oh, what the fuck is happening?
Yes.
That's a new one.
awesome.
That is a new one. That was.
You have to do like this.
Oh, it's that? Oh.
Oh.
Horns.
Oh,
I think, right? Let's see.
I don't know.
Is that it? Oh.
No, it doesn't work.
Happy?
No.
Just being happy?
It was just
Dancing?
magic.
I don't know.
That was amazing. I kind of wish I had gone. Burr, 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 burr.
That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
Oh, it is. It is horns.
Oh, weird.
Every
That's cool.
time.
So yeah.
Anyway.
When is this? January.
January 18th,
Okay.
and it is invite only.
Yeah.
So you have to be part of our underground group, but it is going to be a 10 drink live.
Sponsored by Topo Chico
Sponsored
Seltzer.
by Topo Chico, which means, Topo Chico will be there.
and you have to be 21 years over.
It's a private
Yes.
party. It's a very, it's
Private
a,
It's a
party.
private
for legal
party.
reasons. It's a private party.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
here's the thing. It's so exclusive, we are not going to videotape it.
Nope.
So if you want to see us be idiots with Ming Chen,
Yep.
you have to be invited to the party.
We'll do a live podcast on stage for
Yep.
you guys.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
10 Drink Minimum Underground.
And it's a great way to check out Dry Heat for free if you've never
Yeah.
been.
and Dry Heat is my favorite.
I'm just
place.
going to spend, if you guys want to come and talk to me, that's fine, but I'll be in the green room most of the night.
Oh, by
Best
the way,
green
yeah. I mean, Chris has green room privileges
Right.
All the
regardless
time, yeah.
for life.
Best green room in town.
Yeah. There's a globe full of chips in there. So.
It's the best.
They just need to know that it's awesome. Yeah,
There's also a container of dicks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's where it's our trophy.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing
Are you okay?
we're going to be doing a fans only free
Yeah.
live podcast with Ming Chen. And we're going to have Topo Chico Seltzer there.
Yeah.
So you guys join. If you're not a member, if you don't live in Albuquerque, that sucks. I get it. You can fly here. There's some time.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Last minute tickets.
But, and we haven't figured out how we're going to we have to make a guest list. You have to be on the guest list to get in. So this is a perk of being on the 10 Drink Minimum Underground. So if you've never joined, you live in the Albuquerque area and you want to go to this, join. Get in there.
Yeah. And,
Do it.
And I promise you it's a fun time. Every time Ming Chen comes, I say something really,
He's
really
a wild animal. He's a wild animal. This motherfucker I go to Houston, right? And like this was like when we first launched the wrestling thing. So I was pretty tired. Like we did it the night before I flew to Houston. And I'm exhausted. I get up the next morning, I work. Then I get on the plane, I fly to Houston. Friday night, we stayed up till 4 a.m. in Houston.
Hell yeah.
Saturday, we went to bed at 2. And then Sunday night, 4 a.m. again. I came back from Houston a zombie. Like,
Well, he gave you that one early night.
yeah.
I was gonna say that's a good Houston trip.
What time are you
As
guys
someone
getting up?
from Houston, that's a great Houston.
What time did we get done?
No, what time are you guys getting up?
Oh gosh, like he would let me sleep. I slept till like 10.
Double
Yeah.
digits.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Like I didn't do Smiley where I slept like through the day. Like a lucky man.
It's a vampire thing.
We did
dude.
twice. We did like 3 pounds of crawfish at like
Yeah,
4 in the
fabulous,
morning. At like
as you
4
should.
in the morning, right? And everybody else is like, "You're gonna eat that?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna eat that.
it's
That's good
delicious.
stuff."
Did you suck the heads?
No,
Oh, you gotta suck your heads.
Well, I respect that answer.
I'm not a
but
nasty.
As a
No, I'm
as
just
a
kidding.
Texan, I you know.
Yeah,
It's delicious.
I'm sorry. What?
I said as a Texan, you got it.
Just kidding. So
And
okay,
as a bisexual, no, just kidding.
all right. So back to the other thing we teased. So there's a big thing going on downtown.
Yes, this is important.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to know what
they're
this
trying to shut down knockouts.
Oh, I did see this. I
Whoa.
knew exactly.
So let me tell you guys what's happening, because here's what they're saying. They're like, there was a murder in knockouts. We need to shut it down. They're currently on a 30-day business
Suspension.
license suspension.
Because
Yeah.
there was a 16-year-old with a gun in the place. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Okay, hold on. I get that. I want everyone to know this. I am not pro knockouts per se. I don't think knockouts is a establishment that it does well. There's some bad things that have happened there.
You're not a knucklehead.
Yeah.
I literally only go in there to get cigarettes.
Now-
Sometimes it's the
Okay.
only place downtown
Okay.
that sells
I
cigarettes.
want people to know this. I want them to know this. But I also am one of the. I want to tell you this. I don't like when, especially the government and government agencies, try to play and do propaganda to get what they want.
Sure.
So I want to tell you what is the truth behind what they're saying, and I may be wrong, and this may be my like whatever.
Ooh,
but
this is when this becomes like a real
Yeah.
podcast.
but I don't think I'm
Yeah.
wrong on this.
Okay.
And I know this
And how do
because
you feel about vaccines?
oh, I'm told I'm
Yeah.
pro
I'm
vaccine.
kidding.
Pro vaccines.
No. So they're like, well, someone was murdered there. We've got to shut this place down. The mayor's like, I've been, we gave him a 30-day suspension, and we're going to try to get their license pulled to have them shut down for good. Now, I did a little digging.
Oh.
Pre-murder, they sent the health inspector in there,
Mhm.
and the health inspector
Oh.
couldn't
See-
shut them down.
You seem pretty
Oh.
pro health inspector on the screen right there.
They sent the fire marshal in there. The fire marshal couldn't shut them down.
Oh.
Then the murder happened. And then they're like, okay, we've got to shut them down. And I'm like, so you're leaving all that out that you were already trying to shut them down.
Wait, are you saying that Tim Keller
No.
hired a 16-year-old to murder
No,
somebody? Oh.
no.
Because
I'm just saying that happened because it's fucking knockouts.
that's my next novel.
Because it's knockouts. But what I'm
Tim
saying is there's
Tim
this whole
Keller.
thing. There's a whole thing going on downtown that they want to clean it up and they want to bring in lots of investors and money. Well, one place that sticks out and investors don't like is the strip club in the middle of downtown.
But that's part of being
Yeah.
the urban center of your
Thank you.
town. You have
Thank
to
you.
You have to have
So
a strip
they
club.
don't like this eyesore. This eyesore is like impeding them.
How's it an eyesore?
It's very
Couples
it's
get in
rather
free.
discreet.
I'm with you guys.
It's pink. It's so cute.
But
unless you point it out to like new people here, like where's the strip club? It's it's over there.
Yeah.
Oh really?
But-
I wouldn't have
but-
known.
It's across from all the big books.
I want
Yeah.
people to know that they were trying to shut this down and Knockouts just fucked up. Now, what's going to happen is if I was the owner of Knockouts, I would be like, hey, take them to court. And I'd be like, this is what they did to me first. This is what they did to me second. And they probably did more than that. And they were unsuccessful. And like, unfortunately, a bad thing. I mean, the murder thing could happen in Sister.
Yeah.
Could happen at Launchpad. could happen. I'm just
happened at
all I'm
shut
saying
down.
is
Won't ever happen at dry heat. Thank you.
I've murdered several
We're
people
very
at dry heat.
Prevented many dry heats.
Comedians murder every
Hell.
night at dry heat.
There's gonna be.
That's what the green room's all about,
They
right?
say at dry
I've
heat.
never been there.
I heard some guy say the other night. Dry heat. I killed the other night.
Yeah.
I heard some guy say that.
You can either kill or bomb, and both are violent.
True, that's true.
No,
I've done both.
All I'm saying is I don't like how they're like, oh, this happened and this is why we're doing this, and it's like, fuck you. It's like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get rid of this so you can bring in big money and they can fucking
Well,
Are they
and
trying to get like a better strip club down there?
no, fuck it. No, yeah,
Does one exist?
Yeah, and I want to call out this. Sorry for you guys to be on this one. This bullshit podcast that fucking Mayor Keller has. And people send it to me. They send it to me, and they're like, "What do you think of this?" And I was like, "I love how off the cuff it is. I wonder how much scripting went into that off the cuff because it is ridiculously scripted.
it's very
I mean,
GPT.
this has all been scripted.
It's ridiculously."
Could
Yeah,
you
I
imagine?
wrote today's script.
and I love and I also want to say I love Leah Black. I think she's great. But I always love that he goes, "That's a great question, Leah. Let me answer that." And it's like.
She's so good though.
She is, but then like it's like everything is like I don't know. I don't want to get into this whole ranting thing. I hate it so much.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're trying to revitalize downtown
Right.
and you don't want like shuttered businesses, why are you going to focus on closing another
Shuttering
one?
a business.
Because they're closing the one that's like the filth.
Well, that's what they think.
Like when they cleaned up
but
Times Square, what did they do? They got rid of all the porn stores and the.
They
and
think they did.
I know they think they did.
The M&M store is filthy.
Yeah. We've all seen the green M&M. Okay,
Yeah.
even
But-
with the shoes, it's
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like people, when you just watch the news and you go, oh, there was a shooting down there. I'm glad they're closing it down. Be in the know that they've been trying to get rid of this place, like they're on their way. And like the thing I hate is like when people are like, oh, it's easy to, it's easy to say this bad thing happened, let's shut it down. But it's like when you're the person that a bad thing happened in your business, and then all of a sudden they're trying to shut you down, then you think of it a little differently.
Yeah.
And it's like, bad thing happened. It's a strip club. Of course, a bad thing happened. You know,
I have a very spicy feeling about this, but
Okay.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
Share your spicy feeling.
Here we go.
I mean, how did a murder happen?
Can you use? I'm sorry. Can you use TikTok language? Can you say unalive? And
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't know.
That's okay.
I'm not on TikTok.
You say like slew.
Somebody.
No.
You know,
Okay, listen. How does a murder happen when there's increased police presence outside, 20 APD
you're not-
out there?
you're not going to get me in trouble because I'm about to light some shit up on this.
Friend,
let me tell you,
like-
there isn't increase. There isn't.
Well, I mean, but we're paying. Well,
No. Let me tell you how I know. Let me tell you how I know. I was sitting right there one night when right there I hear clunk, clunk on my roof. And I like fucking like freak out. The dog flips out.
Yeah.
I run outside and I'm like looking around. I can't see anything. I go in the house. My girlfriend's like, what the fuck? Then they're on my roof.
oh,
On the roof of my house. Whoever. I call the police. And 911 is an emergency. I'm like telling them, they're like, have you seen a weapon? Is there any danger? And I'm like, I don't know. We're freaking out in the side of my house. Someone is on there. I can hear them talking through the skylight, right? So then I call my friend because the police, it's been like 20, 30 minutes. No one has showed up. So I call my friend and said, hey, pull into my lot as like, and I said, pull in like you're the cops.
yeah.
And he's like, well, and I said, don't even get out of the car. You don't have to. And he does because he lives over here. Well, on my camera in the back, I see someone run away. So I think they're gone.
Yeah.
So he and I walk the perimeter. And
also like cops though. Did you do it like?
yeah, we're like, oh, we have a hand like ready. No, so then I finally go over to my neighbor to tell him. And as I'm telling my neighbor, I see someone in his backyard. They're still out in his yard stealing stuff. Go into his house. He's 88 years old. He has one eye patch. No kidding. Not making up.
They took his other eye.
They took his other eye. They took his eye and his soul. No, so then I'm on the phone with the cops. An hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. No.
By the time the cops get there, there's nothing. Then the next day, I'm like buying more cameras for my house. I go to climb up my room to mount a camera. There's a wallet.
Oh.
The dude dropped his wallet. So I call the cops and I'm like, hey, I called you guys yesterday because someone was breaking into my house and the neighbor's house, and they dropped their wallet. Okay, we'll send a cop over. 6 hours later,
Oh my
they
gosh.
show up, hand him the wallet, and they tell me basically it's a waste of time because someone could have stole the wallet and threw it up there. Okay. Has the guy's IDs, credit card, and everything. So I'm talking to the cop, and he's like, we're very short-handed. Like, I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone with the lady, and she's telling me that the reason why no one is here to help us is because the cops are dealing with more severe things where people are being hurt or killed.
That's when I got robbed at Dion's. That's what happened to me too.
Yeah.
They were like, "We're so sorry. We're like
Yeah.
here every night getting free food, and we would have normally been here."
We're here every night getting the free food.
Yeah, you do. I mean, honestly, if you join the police force, you can get a free meal at Dion's.
Oh yeah. Well, you get it most places because they don't.
Well, but we
Not
I mean
in
that we went out of our way to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure that was it was like a policy thing.
But they said there's only 900 and something cops, and they just don't have enough, man.
Oh, and so like 200 are stationed downtown.
Oh, I
Or
guess
what?
I guess not. I
Yeah,
live.
wow.
You see where I live, and a dude was on. Like, do I see a gun? I'm not out there looking at him.
Yeah.
So when I worked at Press Club, I closed by myself.
Yeah.
And there was a guy downstairs because sometimes that happens. Sometimes people get trapped there.
Yeah,
It's a bit mazy.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
labyrinth-y.
it is true.
And
Yeah.
so I went downstairs and I was like, oh, I probably like, because I would always lock the door downstairs. And sometimes a drunk person would get like
Yeah.
trapties. And I would be like, hey, let me help you. All the lights are off and it's kind of scary. But that night I was in for a surprise because it was not any of my customers and it was a scary person.
Oh wow.
So I called the cops, and a friend of mine I was like texting them, like, I can't just like leave. I don't know what to do. And they're like, just tell the cops that you think they have a weapon.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's the story. And everybody's like, you have to tell them that they have a weepon and they're trying to kill you. And
or
I'm
that
like,
you think you saw a weapon.
and
but
that's
you're not
fucking
sure.
insane.
It's nuts.
Otherwise, you just get killed. You know, because they're just not going to come. The cops. Let me tell you a story. This is if you think you were going to say. The cops are not going to protect you in Albuquerque. They're just not.
I was gonna.
Welcome to hell.
I was gonna say sometimes they do come and you get killed because.
Yeah.
Yeah, also that.
Anyway,
It's Gotham here. It's fine.
Yeah. No, and that was really scary. Like it was like, so like for them to say, and here's the other fucked up thing. If this was Tanawan, that person would have been in cuffs. Done. This is tell him, Brody. This is where
At least you got a dog.
and I'm like, and everybody's like, well, you live in a neighborhood where there's not a lot of money. I was like, my ass. Have you seen this neighborhood recently? I went to Burritos Al Estante the other day, and there was an Audi and a fucking Mercedes parked in there. So I think there is money in this neighborhood now. It's weird, right? I mean,
they just released that report about like all the demographics of
Yeah.
the people who live in Albuquerque, in downtown in particular, right? It's crazy because it's almost 2020, like
Yeah.
1/5 of the entire pie is every single demographic on both income and also
never was like
education
that.
level.
Never was like that.
Yeah, but now it's kind of like, I mean, personally for me, that's what I want from a downtown is where we
Sure.
have everybody is represented, everybody is here, and we all like live together. But that means that we need to have like the same kind of protection and support and everything
Yes.
that we
And people are like, well, I don't think that's true that the nicer neighbor. Bullshit. Bullshit that they don't. Because I remember one time, and I'll tell you how I know. One time I was up in that area, and I was, you go up in the foothills, and I was working on someone's computer, and I went to drive down the streets, and a cop stopped me at the bottom, and he was like, how fast were you going? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, I watched you. And he's all, this neighborhood, we have a lot of speeders. They call. And so we patrol this neighborhood. And I looked at him and I said, wow.
What?
That's pretty nice of them to have that.
yeah.
I said, I don't live in a neighborhood where you guys even do anything. And he was like, well, you need to slow down in this neighborhood. I was like, or all. How about all of them? And I was like, must be nice.
Which neighborhood is this? I need to avoid it because I drive like a maniac.
Paseo and Tramway, Smiley. I don't think you hang out up there.
Yeah, no.
I don't think you
I'm
hang
like,
out.
there's
Go to
no
the
cops
Outpost
here.
Ice Arena,
I can drive however I want now.
Elena
careful.
Gallegos outdoor space.
What was the other announcement you had?
I thought you were supposed to speed out there.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what Elena Gallegos wanted.
it seems kind of dumb now.
Oh.
No, it's more of an accountability thing because I don't do resolutions. Okay.
Oh.
But this year I decided that I'm going to stop sleeping on myself, and I am actively writing my first novel.
Well, hold on. Do the double thumbs up.
Oh, it did nothing.
Wait, hold it. You gotta hold it.
Hold it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
E-
Yeah.
But it's still like Sarah and Kelly have heard by disasters that happened this year. I had been working on a script for many years, and then my computer died, and I lost my script writing software, which is very expensive, and I lost my whole script.
There's script writing software besides Word.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It like it formats it, and like you can save, all kinds of stuff.
Was that a spider? or
It was
what?
a spider, which
Ew.
is hilarious because I literally just workshopped a joke today about being covered in
that's what you
spiders.
did about joking about
Karma.
spiders.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. But so then I reached out to Emily Winter, who's going to be here next week for the
One-liner.
one-liner thing. And
Madness.
madness. I don't know why my brain. I'm probably freaked out because there's spiders.
Just the one. Just the one.
That was Todd. He lives here.
So
Sorry, lived here.
He's alive. He's very much alive.
Yeah.
God, I don't like that.
why did you say that? But so I reached out to her and I was telling her how I like felt like weird and like I can't do anything. And she was like, you know what? It's actually really smart to write it as a book and then option it as a script later.
Oh.
So I am writing my novel about a truck stop strip club.
I love it.
So, but now I'm going to have to work in that they're getting shut down because somebody got murdered. So, which is also really what happened at Club 203 also.
I think I've already told you this.
That was a scary place.
I think I've already told
That's
you
how
this.
I know Gwen
Holly.
doesn't live here
Yeah.
because she would say, "Sorry, I'm not home right now." Looking in the spider web.
I think I've already told you this, Holly, but I'm more than welcome. Like, I would love to help
Oh, thanks.
read or whatever.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to announce it tonight because now Kelly has to help me read it.
I'll only read it if you win on Sunday.
Well, okay.
See, I'm
Well,
motivating.
she's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Champion.
I made Holly read parts of my horror book about pregnancy.
They were really good. It was really good though.
So-
Brandon Smith says he's going to reopen Knockouts as a male strip club called Glizzy's.
Oh.
I'll order the foot long. Whoa!
Can couples still get in for free?
Right? In the discreet rear
Can I
entrance.
tell you something? I worked at a strip club, right? And like gross, crazy things happened at that strip club. Not
What?
just
Wait,
TV.
what? At the strip club?
I can't believe that.
Well,
Across from the fireworks store?
yeah, but like a girl had to be tested for rabies. It was a thing. But
What kind of lap dance?
a very overserved trucker bit a chunk out of her leg. It was a thing. I have a joke about it, but like
Buffets
it
are
really.
amazing. It says.
Leg buffet.
But I went to
All you can eat leg.
Chippendales in Vegas with a friend of mine.
The Rescue Rangers?
No, that's Chip and Dale.
Oh.
This is Chip and
Also, when I was a kid, I saw that there was a Chippendales thing,
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, right on!" Like, because I was a kid, I was like, "Chippendales, the Rescue Rangers," and they're like, "It's not the same." And I was like,
Not the same. I have to tell you that the women that go to those shows
"Oh yeah."
have no boundaries, and they will grab a glizzy without consent, and it is embarrassing.
Right.
Because one of my friends turned into one of those people where I was just like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." So be careful, Brandon.
I was gonna say, I feel like there probably exists
Yeah.
somewhere like a furry strip club that is called Chip and Dale's.
Oh, so
Oh, I would go.
Would it
okay,
be
so
chip
where I grew up in Clovis, there was no
When
strip
there's
club.
danger.
There was no strip club. So there was strip clubs in Amarillo and strip clubs in Lubbock. Well, there was this story that they shut down one of the ones in Amarillo because a guy was, in his chair, and the woman put her foot on his shoulder and was pouring a beer down her body. And a crab washed into his eye. And I was like,
Whoa.
Wow. Huh. So
I thought the spiders were bad.
right? But the crabs are way worse.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
That's. I mean, do you guys remember the ice house?
yes.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing too, where they would do like.
Do I have an ice house story? Yes, I do.
I don't. I remember its existence.
I remember very
So-
specifically the most like
Yeah.
notorious thing that happened there was that people would get eyelash crabs.
Oh.
So, okay.
Gosh.
Sorry, I don't know.
I didn't know we were going in this direction.
Well, Duke City
today.
Warriors don't go to the ice house.
So Ice House was like, and it's weird because like I had to figure out when I moved back here where that was. So when I was in college and I was a young guy in a fraternity,
Oh my god.
they brought me up here, and I was not old enough to go to a bar. And my first strip club
Your Y Knockouts is getting closed down. By the way.
was my first strip club was the Ice House. Oh wow! And I'd never been to one, and I'd only seen like one or two women naked probably in my life. And we go, and I go and sit right by the stage, and a guy comes, one of my brothers comes up behind me and puts $1 in my mouth. And the lady came and did a handstand and took the dollar out of my mouth. However
Like
you do.
Yeah.
But there was a point where they did a live lesbian show,
Sure.
and they had sex with each other. As
Yeah,
you-
but that was early in my career, and I.
and they would do it as long as you threw money on the stage.
Yeah.
And my friend was ripping dollar bills in half and throwing them on the stage.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
you're such an
It's like when
yeah.
Usher would go to clubs and throw like fake Usher money.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But the Ice House was pretty rough. Well, I mean, I didn't know that at the time. I thought they all were like that.
Oh no. There are some. I just want to say that I am very strip club positive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they're
Oh, for sure.
great.
I love strip clubs.
They're fun.
Do you want to
If you
know?
got the money for it.
Do you want to know how I almost got a stripper fired and me banned from a strip club? Do you want to hear that story?
Do we?
Do we?
Knockouts never had a
I'm
chance.
concerned. Yeah. Why did you go to knockouts so much? What happened?
I actually haven't. I've only been to knockouts probably 5 or 6 times. So
I used to write jokes at knockouts with my favorite stripper.
so
I love that.
at the strip club in Lubbock, it's called the Bunny Ranch.
Beautiful.
In Lubbock, they don't allow, or in Texas, they don't allow alcohol sales at strip clubs, but you bring your
You
own,
bring your
Yeah, you
own.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta go.
Jaguars is my favorite.
which is amazing. Like it's like you could bring a keg, which I think we did a couple times. So we would take all of our young guys.
It seems to have escalated. First time at Ice House, and that one we're
Well,
gonna bring a keg.
so one of the times we went to that, we got a private. We took a
You
lot
have
of
like
our.
a very varsity blues background.
I do.
I love
and this
that.
and this is fun. Yeah. So we took some of our young guys that probably had never seen a woman naked before, and we went, and like one of the times we're like in the room, and we got a woman, and like she spanks herself. She spanks herself, and I was like, one more time for Santa Claus, and she did it again. One more time for the kids at home. She did it again. So it was really funny, and like I was like, I'm gonna do this again. So one night we were there, and there was a stripper that was like tipping another stripper because no one was tipping her.
Yeah,
And I was like,
Girl power.
slap her ass. And so she did. And then like all of a sudden everybody was like, whoa, and they started tipping. So they kept doing it. Well, the one on the floor was a little tipsy, and she swung and missed
Oh.
and cut
Oh.
the other one right by her,
Oh no.
Yeah.
and she started bleeding.
Nope.
And the manager fucking went berserk, and he was gonna fire both of them, and then he was gonna ban me. And they just like talked him down. I don't know if they got him more cocaine or I don't know, but it was like
I don't think you know how that works.
I should write a book. I don't know myself. I don't know.
It makes me it's so stressed for those strippers.
I know.
Like,
Poor thing.
just let them work. God.
I know. So my cute story about knockouts is there was it was me and I think Caitlin Minton.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, we both were going through divorces and things. And one night she goes, "We should go to knockouts for fun."
Yes.
And I was like, "Okay." So we found this.
Which it is fun.
It is fun.
It is.
And we found this lady who she just seemed bored. And we were like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And we tipped her. And then she was talking to us. And we told her we were comedians. And she's like, "Tell me jokes." And we're
Oh.
like, "Oh, okay." Like, we could do that.
Nice.
She's like, now you get up on stage.
So we were telling her jokes. And then, I don't know. when it started, maybe like the next week after that, I went to Knockouts after an open mic, and I found that lady, and she was like, "Oh, you were like the highlight of my week."
Aw.
And so I would test out jokes, and she would vent to me, and we became friendsies.
Oh, that's cool.
I have a joke that I've told for a very, very, very long time about how me and my friends in college would go to the strip club to like
I
as
love that
feminists.
joke.
What
Like,
was
we
it, what was the strip club?
it depends. It's a couple of them to like make the joke work. So,
Oh, okay.
but we used to go. I mean, we used to go to Ted Danson's, which is what I call TDs.
Oh,
And-
oh wow.
Yeah.
I like that. Which one?
Both. I mean, both.
Oh, okay.
So, but this is the most.
Rest in peace, Ted.
Ted
Danson.
Danson.
No,
Yeah.
TD's gold.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know which
The
one's which.
one that's way up in the heights we went to one time because we were writing a college paper about it. So we wrote it like we went there like anthropologists. We were there, and then the one that's right by Cliffs we went for
Fantasy World.
leisure. Oh, and then we went to Fantasy World. Fantasy World actually had one of the scariest interactions I've ever had at a strip club because they kept pulling me and my friends up on stage because we were very clearly gay, and they would include us in their dances in a way that we were like, we did not sign on for this. We were just here to make your night better.
Right.
Because that's what we would do. We would just go and we'd be like, well, I think it's kind of pretty cool to kind of just be like a girl who sits there and is kind of like, well, let's pass the time at your day job. Like,
Yeah.
and so, but it's so funny too, because I can see Brandon like putting some comments too about like, what would be your song or like whatever. I would literally tip based on their song choice.
Oh,
Like that was my
right?
favorite thing to do, like to go and be like, that was a good one. That was very good. Wow, System of a Down. What a brave choice. That's very good.
Inspiring.
Brandon said when I was in school, a bunch of my friends and I would dress up as nuns and go bar hopping.
Let's bring it back.
What would be the stripper song?
Actually, I would like to hear everybody's.
Oh man.
Mine is.
I would definitely do When I Think About You, I Touch Myself.
Oh wow.
Divinals. Good choice.
For sure.
Interesting.
Mine is Rob Zombie's She Rides.
Oh, hey.
Which
Mine is Jackal. I'm a lumberjack. That's actually a big strip club song.
I don't know, because we talk about this all the time as comedians too, about like what song you want to walk out to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they kind of have the same vibe. Like you want something that's like high energy,
Right.
but people like recognize and like it tells you a little bit about yourself. And so, I mean, I like to come out to Decepticon by La Tigra.
Oh.
Okay.
I would never strip it. But if I was going to, I'd at least walk around and be like, here's a pole to
Next time you do comedy, I'll be like, take your shirt off. I'm sure you'll love that.
I'm like,
And then I'll kick you out. Yeah. I'll be like, bye. Yeah, I'm actually kind of a strip club noob.
Oh
Like,
shit! Hold on. Brandon has a good one.
Oh.
Say no more. More Rex Manning.
Good.
Good one. Okay,
That's such a
Kelly,
good
what were you
one.
saying? You're a strip club.
I
noob?
actually have never been to a strip club.
Oh.
Never?
I support them. I
Congratulations.
like them. Whatever. I just don't ever have enough like loose cash on me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gotta
we got
have
all those $2 bills. I guess.
I know. But like we have like
That's why you have
$2
$2 bills.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
the one downtown's been closed.
I just don't want to show up like poorly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I want to like roll in like
Fat
hundreds
pockets.
deep. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there was definitely. I mean, there was the golden age. That was the pre-rapper like make it rain thing.
Yeah.
There was where you just kind of put some ones on the thing and they'd come over and dance, take the ones. Now everybody's like just throwing money at them, and I'm like, dang it, man, I ain't got that kind of money. Jeez.
I'm very open to it. I just haven't been
Yeah.
yet. So I guess I would do like Genuine or some sort of like
Oh, yeah.
Pony.
yeah.
Ooh, and then there's always like the mainstays like the 9 Inch Nails.
Mm-hmm.
Wanna fuck you like an animal. That's a big one.
There was a girl at the 203 that I gave her like half my tips because she was being very artistic and decided to dance to Papa Roach.
Oh goodness. Someone did P Roach.
Yeah, and it
Cut
was
my life into.
it was that one. And she was sad.
You gave her half tips? What'd you say? You gave her
I gave her like half
you
of
rip
my
them?
tips that I like took my tip bucket and just gave her because she was trying to be, artistic
Yeah.
with it.
at
And
the, at the trucker strip club. yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and the truckers they didn't appreciate it
that's
like
weird.
they should have.
That's weird.
And then she made me dance with her because she was scared. And I don't. It's
Couples
a hard
dance.
job. It was. I think it's one of the most difficult jobs because I just wanted to punch every single man
Sure.
in the face, and I was just a bartender. Like, I just thought they were rude at that club. Not all clubs are like that, but she had me go up there, and I did it fully clothed and was terrified. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of appreciation for,
Sure.
that takes talent.
One of the only times that I've actually been over to that the strip club that you worked at was I almost got kidnapped,
Yeah,
and my friends thought it was hilarious.
that checks.
They're all, look at that trucker's trying to pick up Smiley. Look at him. He's like so into him. He's touching his arm now, and I'm like, where's my backup? Where are my friends at? What is going on? This guy's like dragging me out the door, and like, oh,
Not
no,
good
it's
friends.
gone too far.
Not good friend. I at least take you to the bar and buy you the Everclear and Tang out of the frozen thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dang.
Super Tang. What was I going to say? Yeah, there's only like 3 left now. There's TD's North. There's Fantasy World and Knockouts. Yeah.
I really loved TD's sign during the pandemic. That was
Still
like,
closed.
Still closed.
Yeah.
closed.
And that one's not even. Well, there was the worst name
They're still
one,
closed.
and it was after it used to be Chapter 2, but then they changed the name to All Fours, and I was like,
Yikes.
Yeah.
and that's the one that they've filmed Breaking Bad, the strip club scene there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Big Eye is no more. It's like
Is that
Oh,
gone?
yeah.
Well, that wasn't a strip club though. It was just.
it's like a peep show thing.
oh,
yeah.
oh, so
Was that the
Live
one where you could put
girls or whatever.
quarters in the thing?
During COVID, I was like, wouldn't it be so perfect to do a comedy show in one of these peep show?
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
You wanted to buy the peep
I
show
wanted to
ticket.
buy
Yeah.
it, and I wanted it to be like you're in your own thing, and then the like little screen comes down, like I've seen it in like movies and
Yeah.
stuff, and the comedian's like, "What's the deal with dating?" And it just like goes back up. You gotta pay another quarter to
They
like
just
hear
they
the-
just tell the setup and then
yeah,
that's it.
exactly.
That sounds terrifying.
I would love that so much. Do you know Big Eye got in so much trouble? People would write these like moral editorials to the
Yeah.
newspaper being like, how come there's always a full parking lot outside of the Big Eye? It's disgusting. I can't believe so many people are going there over like every single day. It's full. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that so many purveyors of
They
filth are
sound like
going
a
there.
really
Well,
fun.
and-
But then, but it was just the people who work at the Lexus
Yeah.
dealership next door parking
Uh,
in the parking lot.
So for people who don't know, the Big Eye is like this. I thought it was just an adult porn store, but also I guess that peep show. I didn't know that.
And they, well,
I mean, I didn't.
I don't want to.
I'm just kidding. I did not know.
2 thumbs up to get the.
I did not know that they had peep shows. There.
Well, they had a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah.
And one giant eye.
Yeah.
It's really big.
It's
Someone said I would actually try. I guess she's never been to a strip club. But she said going to a burlesque show.
burlesque
is
So great.
Yeah,
burlesque
absolutely.
is
All of
so
it is great.
fun.
And it's like really, I mean, truly all of it is an art. Like there's so much physicality in both. And it's if you've been to one, you should check out the other two and like really
Yeah.
appreciate all of it.
Well,
and we would not have comedy without burlesque.
oh,
Right.
absolutely.
That
That's
is
how
correct,
Lenny
yeah.
I
Bruce
have
does-
I have
Lenny
a
Bruce,
series
right?
on TikTok about the history of comedy because
Yeah.
I decided to look it, and it was really very interesting that comedy really wouldn't have happened without
no,
burlesque.
no.
Burlesque rules. I've been to. I love it. The best burlesque number we've ever
Oh
seen.
my, this is the greatest.
Okay, so there's this collective, I guess, in Brooklyn called like Switch and Play. They're great. But anyway, they did this show, and one of the performers, I forget what her name is, but she's amazing. She came out in a full trench coat with like high heels and like a bag, and she was like, she came out to like really sexy song, whatever.
Like Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
something where
Like classically sexy
ooh.
stuff. And she like got her bag and like put it down, and then like took some things out of her bag, and then started taking off her
to
shoes.
people in the front row, just like
Yeah.
giving them a tray and like
They gave
having
her
them
like
do like a whole thing.
Yeah, she gave them like a bucket, and yeah. So then she like put her bag in the bucket, and then like took her shoes off and like put her shoes in the bucket, and then she had them like scoot the bucket.
So everybody got an experience with it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then she took her trench coat off, same thing, into the bucket. So she just had on like a bra and panties.
And it was still like brown chicken, brown cow music.
Yeah.
Full.
And then she stood like this and stopped, and the music cut from like Teddy Pendergrass into live audio of like a TSA screen.
So it was the sound of security at the airport, and she had been doing the security checkpoint thing the entire time and moving her tray down and like getting everything.
And then she got out and like
love
put her
it.
coat back on and put her shoes back on and
Oh,
got
wow.
her bag. And,
Like, she's like, thanks.
it was so funny.
Got out of there. Like,
It was
it
the
was
best.
so funny.
Oh
And it was
my
sexy,
gosh.
but it was just hilarious.
That's pretty cool.
I love that.
I think the big shout out goes to all the ladies that worked at Knockouts and would stand outside in the freezing cold in almost nothing
Yeah.
in those shoes. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Because like you'd walk by there and they were like in their uniform or their outfit that they wore for the night, and it's like fucking 26 degrees outside. They're like talking to somebody, and you're like, oh,
We'd really
geez.
like to go back knock in.
Right?
Those shoes are more comfortable than you
Are they really? I mean,
because they have that platform, so it's
Yeah.
the heel is. I'm just saying.
is there
He's
any?
like, it's not that impressive.
Yeah.
No, it's impressive, but
Like, how do they
Right.
keep the fish alive?
that's I kind of want some of those fish ones.
There's fish ones. All I've ever seen is the
Disco
clear.
shoes that have like the
Yeah.
like the
Live
Yeah,
fish
the
in them.
platform. The only ones I've ever seen is the clear ones that
they
they'll wear.
clack.
And they'll clack them on the floor.
They're tools of the trade, though. Like
They
they
are.
know how to stand in them. They know how to like do all the. I
Oh,
have seen
geez.
some cool stuff that I'm like, holy, the best stripper I ever knew. She also cocktailed at the truck stop strip club, but she did everything on roller skates,
Oh, wow.
including when she would get on stage. She did her whole
So cool.
act with roller skates on, and I used to just.
Yeah.
I was so impressed. And then also her son came in one time without
On
her knowledge.
purpose? Oh.
Well, he didn't know that she worked there and it was his 21st birthday.
Oh.
Very interesting, though.
Oh.
He was also on roller skates.
He was. He had Heelys. It ran in the family.
Someone says they love Mary Jane heels. I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
those-
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she also was very professional when that happened.
Weird,
and
yeah.
So lots of stuff about her impressed me.
I would say
Is that in your book?
the
It might.
the
end
best
up in
one
my
I've ever
book.
seen
it
is
should
a place called Legends in Dallas. I don't know if it exists anymore.
In
There,
Dallas.
Dallas? Yeah.
There was one where a woman, she wore angel wings, and she climbed all the way to the top, and she like spun down upside down with the angel wings on, and it was amazing. I was like, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
I know
And she
of
was
Legends,
naked
yeah.
as
Of
well,
course.
so that was part of it too.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
I've heard of Legends.
yeah. That was also nice.
They can't call it that
But
unless
the
you've heard
the funniest thing though is I go to give the woman, and this has happened to me multiple times in my life. I go to give her like $1, and people see me and they think like I work there or whatever because I'm a big person. She leans in and she's like, "Those guys over there were touching me improperly," and I was like, "That sucks." And
Hold
she
on,
was
let
like,
me get you a couple more dollars.
and she was like pointing at them because she thought I was like one of the guys that like was bouncing the place.
And
I guess.
what did you do?
Nothing.
Hmm.
I was
I-
like,
I
I
don't
looked
like
and I went,
A
that
bad
sucks.
ally.
And I pulled out $1. Well, I'm not gonna go beat some dudes.
Well,
up.
yeah, no.
yeah, because then I'll be arrested.
You were just like, well, you don't have to worry about that with me.
Yeah,
Plus in Dallas,
Aw.
like
Yeah.
you could be shot too.
Yeah.
right. I mean, Albuquerque, you might.
Yeah,
For sure.
Right. I hear you.
And
I'm
knock-
really
and knockouts.
impressed that this whole podcast was scripted by Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, I really.
She's done a great job.
Thank you.
There's some
Thank you.
foreshadowing that has happened in other episodes too that I really brought back.
Sarah's like, Chris, like, talk about like how have you done this podcast for so long? Sarah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that question. Well, let me tell you. Oh, Jesus. God, I hate that so much.
It
It's
really
very-
grinds its gears.
Let me give you a real off the cuff answer. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I was waiting for your.
No. Well, Sarah wrote it for me.
You're all, hold on. Let me
Let me read the
go ahead and get my
let me-
answer here.
Let me read the
Headlines.
prompter. One Albuquerque prompter.
Just came up with it.
As a
Um,
huge ally to the brunette lesbian community.
So you guys have been how long have you guys been in the downtown business?
It'll be 2 years in March.
Oh wow, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we opened officially in June, but we signed our lease in March.
And how many people have been murdered in there?
I mean, every single
Lots
week
of- lots
people
of-
are murdered and killed.
Lots
and,
of kill.
and
I
bombed.
killed.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's still pools of blood.
Nice.
and needles.
Yeah.
Best
Oh,
green
yeah.
best green room in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
By the way,
Pretty fancy.
but you can't get in.
Before we leave, because I go to Sarah for years now about all my comedy quandaries. So I got asked a lot of questions about, the new Netflix specials that came out.
Yeah.
Let's.
let's. The new one. The new.
Are we
new
not going
one.
to talk about the thing you want to talk about? The big.
Oh, I'm going
Okay.
there. Don't
Yeah,
you
yeah.
worry.
Cool.
But so, I couldn't watch the Chappelle special. I got
The new one.
he told his first joke, and I was like, nope, not for me.
It's not
And
even
that's-
comedy anymore, is it?
Well, it is. It's comedy, and it's not. That might be like a personal thing because I had my own stuff that happened this year that I'm like, let's not make jokes about trans people. But I'm okay. Like, I know comedy happens. I know comedians are getting comedian, and like if that brand of comedy is for you, then that's for you. But then Cat Williams came out.
Oh yeah.
And he said some crazy stuff, but he also said, I thought, some really poignant and important things.
Yes.
Where because I've seen a lot of chatter
Yeah.
between, comedians and stuff
Oh,
about.
it's the talk of the world. Right
Yeah.
now.
Well, no, but before the Cat Williams thing came out, I saw a lot of chatter about comedians saying, like, we should be able to tell trans jokes and we should be able, like, he should be able to do that, blah, 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 and people not freak out. But then Cat Williams, did you watch the podcast?
I
the
watched
Shay Shay thing.
Chunks and chunks of it, but not the entire.
I mean, you don't need to watch the entire thing because some of it is
It's
very
like what,
Cat Williams.
3 hours long.
Yeah, and Cat Williams does Cat Williams, but
Says the host of a 2-hour podcast.
yeah.
What are you, 3 hours?
Jesus Christ!
What are they doing?
That's just ludicrous.
As we went on a tangent about strip clubs randomly.
Oh, it's not random. Sarah scripted it.
it.
I wrote it all down. I wrote this down.
Yeah.
I wrote this, what I'm saying right now, down. Right on time. She said, well, I didn't mean to say that part.
Meta.
But what I wanted to bring up, because you do own a comedy club, and I assume that there are sometimes jokes that you're not the biggest fan of. But what I did like was Cat Williams talked about history and how George Carlin and Richard Pryor would not have told jokes like that because of the culture that we have now. They would have been respectful of, that times change and blah, blah, blah. And we don't have to say offensive things to get our point across. And case in point, to me personally, my favorite highlight of the Cat Williams thing was when he called Cedric the Entertainer a walrus, which is
Did he
mean.
really?
Yes,
I've not watched all
which
of it.
is it gets his point across, but it's not offensive.
He really went off on Steve Harvey.
Oh, he called him Mr. Potato Head.
He said that he wore that was all a wig.
Oh, I mean, he said a lot of things.
But then he said that he was jealous of Bernie Mac, right? He
I mean,
hated him, yeah.
But
Which has been substantiated by the people.
yes. But do you feel like that's the way comedy should go? Is if you're a wordsmith, maybe find different words that aren't so hurtful to certain groups?
So it's really important for Kelly and I both to answer this question.
Yeah.
But I will say,
I meant both of you, but
Yeah. so I our policy for performers at Dry Heat is always like, you are always welcome to explore your own identity, and you should. Like that's always, I find the most impactful comedy is usually the exploration of who you are on this planet and making it universal for the crowd that's watching it.
Right.
When you start being like, and this other group, is when all of a sudden,
Yes.
like, now we're getting into like weird situations. And luckily, people like George Carlin took down like systemic things and
Right.
Yeah.
themes
Right.
much more than he was like, and that group of people over there, unless it was like something to like those people were representative of like a systemic thing or something.
Yeah.
Um,
He attacked like religion and
yeah, and like politicians who are related
Right.
to like, you know, like he like made a thing out of the people who were part of the system. But the best comedy in my mind is like personal stories, personal perspectives on things or whatever, and like making that a connection point with you and the audience, and then ultimately making people laugh. So in Dry Heat in particular, explore that as much as you want to. Please unpack that. Find a way to like make that universal, because that's a space that intimate. That's what you should be doing with comedy. Is there anything you want to add to some of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that authenticity breeds the most interesting points of view anyway. But I would say, and I'm sure you're about to say this too, but like the most important thing out of all of everything is that your jokes are funny. And often if you're trying to like, if you go into comedy trying to victimize a group of people, odds are good that your jokes are not your main focus of the content that you're putting out. And so like if your main focus is like vitriol, then you're not going to be as funny as someone who's really focused on like the humor. So like, yeah, I mean, policy wise, we really, really prefer when people talk about their own lived experiences.
Sure.
And even if that experience is like my experience of the larger systemic thing or like the larger societal thing or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, we've also had jokes told, like there have been slightly homophobic jokes told in Dry Heat that were like,
whoa.
okay, admittedly funny.
Sure.
Not our favorite, but funny.
That was in the
So-
green room. I'm sorry, guys. I told you I was sorry.
Said it
Multiple
over
And
and
that's
over.
why
You can't
and
keep
that's
saying
why
gay-mo.
Chris is gonna, yeah.
I can't. Gay
Chris
is a
keeps
day
saying
is long.
gay-mo, yeah. No, but like, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's a very delicate balance. And
And it's an important balance too. And this is
Yeah.
another thing. I brought this up literally earlier today, where it's like I feel like comedy is a lot like holding a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're like
Oh, that's good. That's good.
every comedy show is a marksmanship competition, and so like use whatever gun is going to hit the target the best.
Yeah.
And these brand new comedians come out and they want to like play with the biggest gun ever.
Yeah.
And then they end up just like not having any control over
Well,
it, and it hurts a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Whereas like a teeny tiny just go bink and it'll hit the target. Start there and work it up. And like you can always get a cooler, bigger gun as you learn your
Right.
skills. And so when people are like, I'm gonna be edgy, it just sounds to me like people are like, I want the big gun.
Well, in like when Holly Ann had the open mic at Founders, it almost seemed like to me, if you're like a young male starting out, it was like, I don't understand why you think like homophobic jokes and sexist, like gross jokes are the way to start. And it would always just be like,
Well, and that's
that
but
just, that's
the reason I
ridiculous.
wanted to bring this up with Sarah and Kelly is because I know their policy and I know that they're not like, I don't think I've ever seen either of you ban a person for having different views.
Well, I was gonna, yeah.
That's never been a thing. And I like the way you both have handled how you talk about this, because it is the most, I will tell you, it makes me feel the most safe at your comedy club. But because I can make a mistake and say something dumb, and I know you're not going to, attack me. But also, I think that the way you describe things is, that's why I wanted to talk, because I don't say it the right way. Because I immediately am like, fuck you.
you've
You
never
know?
said, Sarah, take your shirt off, which is really,
that was pretty creepy. For sure. Have you guys ever had to ban someone?
yes.
We do, yeah, a couple times. But,
Interesting.
But only, and not because of stuff that they've done on stage. It's like literally been all off stage, like
Really?
violent stuff.
I'll tell you exactly why we ban people. Okay, we ban people, and we've banned.
Hold on. I'm writing this down.
I think we've banned. I think we've banned 3 people total. We ban people when they are
Audience or comedians?
Comedians.
comedians.
Oh, okay.
Because an audience we don't necessarily have to ban. We'll just kick them out.
They're just customers that we can refuse service to.
Right.
Yeah. But honestly, we've really only kicked out one audience member.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we ban people when they are actively violent toward anyone in our space.
Wow.
Or they commit an act of violence towards someone in our space or a sponsored space.
Fucking Kurt Pleasure.
Or
Could you imagine?
or if there are active criminal charges against them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like an investigation that's like
Yep.
credible.
And the
And-
reason I think this is important is because I think a lot of times it is assumed that, you know, like if something goes against what somebody believes, that automatically, if you're quote unquote woke or whatever, that you're automatically going to hate everything and they're done. And I love the way you both have handled the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the people that we
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No,
but
no.
Sorry.
One of the people we've banned is currently in jail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah.
Oh,
It takes a bit, you know. It takes
So-
it takes
Yeah.
a lot to get
So-
banned.
Seems like you really
Okay.
have to try.
So
Yeah.
in order to be real podcasting, I have to ask this question. So as the only comedy club currently in town,
Oh, in town.
In town, yes.
Way to riff.
do you feel like you can kind of shape and or gatekeep the scene?
I don't want. That's the whole thing too. Is like our whole thing is not to gatekeep at all.
Right.
It is to encourage as much community as we possibly can, because there are spaces that are coming in, like Quesadas and Hyenas and all those places, and it's like the more we can band together and be truly Albuquerque about things, the better we will all have. The better a chance that we'll all have to like succeed
Sure.
when these other places that do things a little bit more traditional come in. So Kelly and I don't gatekeep. We do want to make sure that our audience is safe, our audience is going to have a good time, and that like
And they're
the
going to buy a
comedians-
ticket.
Right. And that the comedians
What
will
they
have a good time and that
expect.
the comedians are safe. So it's like on both sides.
Right.
And so it's like some people again going back to the gun thing. Like it's really like it's like I know some audiences will come in here because the show looks this certain way and they're ready for a whole slew of different comedians than a different show would have, or like
Right,
that
right.
kind of stuff. And so we just have different gun shows every single week. And we try to get the people who match up
Really
the best with the
downtown.
people we know we will have present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people, if they think we're gatekeeping, it's just that we're trying to
Do you ever get like accused of that?
gatekeeping.
Yeah.
No, but I know. But here's the deal about comedy in
I'm sure
general.
people-
In general,
Yeah.
nobody thinks they ever get booked enough.
Right.
I don't think I get booked enough, and I
Sure.
own the fucking club. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those things too, where it's like the choices being made have so little to do with who those people are, and they have so much more to do with the audience who's paying money,
Right.
just the who's around right now
Right.
kind of thing, and then like also just like how busy Kelly and I are as owners and also as people with full-time day jobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Up until I quit my job on Friday.
And how consistent
Oh, whoa, lazy. I don't work no more.
and how consistent people can be on stage. I think
Yeah.
yeah.
like your question is interesting because it's like neither of us ever try to gatekeep people, but we do try to shape the scene.
Yeah.
And what we mean
Because I mean, you can right now.
what we mean by like shaping the scene is like we just want everyone to treat comedy seriously
Yeah.
and show up ready to like try. Often, you know, a scene can get like bad if there's more people just showing up to like fuck around than there are people to like showing up to like
Work.
do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And who
Well,
really want to
all
try.
right.
I think you guys
All we want-
curate
Yeah, we just
shows.
I want every single person who ever steps up to the mic and like feels that feeling that I felt the first time I ever did comedy to immediately have access to everything that they need to fill up their toolbox to go anywhere else in the world and do comedy. That's
Right.
all I care about. And so when people are willing to like meet us there,
Yeah.
then it's like you have the world at your feet. Like we make sure people get free headshots, which cost $400 in
Yeah.
every
Oh, yeah.
other city in the world.
Wow.
And
organize
we do it
community
twice a
events.
year. Yeah, we do
What?
like so these things that would cost money, we make sure that it doesn't cost money here.
Yeah.
And we just ask that people hang out, be around, help us make the bread. That's
Yeah.
really all it is. And so
Well,
yeah, it's not
in a lot of this, and I mean, this is to people that are in acting, wrestling, comedians. It's show business.
Yeah.
It's a business. If you are good enough to stand up there or in that ring or on that show, and people like what you do, that they will fill up the place, you will work everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But even so, if you are like reliable,
Yep.
if we know what you're going to do on
Yep.
stage and we know that you're going to deliver on that
Yep.
promise, we know how to book people who
It's a business.
are newer, who
Yeah.
are like maybe
A
really
little bit more fringe.
yeah, they have like a very special way of showing up on
Yep.
stage that's maybe not quite as expected or whatever. We know we're professionals. We know how to book a show
Yeah.
to where an audience will enjoy what you do.
Right.
But if you're inconsistent, if it's hard to work with you, if you're hard to get in touch with, if it's
And that's every fucking industry
Yeah.
on the planet. Like, it trips me out, and I've told this to so many people my entire life. They're like, I'm so nervous to start my new job. What if I get fired, or what if I don't do well? And I said, you know what? Most people don't show up to work. They don't show up on time. When they show up on time, or when they show up, they don't do anything. So all you got to do is show up every day, show up on time, and do more than most people, and you're fine.
Yeah, I swear most of my jobs are just from showing up.
Yeah.
We always say there's a triangle
Yeah.
for getting booked anywhere, but not even just through us, but it's definitely what we use too, where it's like at the top, be funny. Please
Yeah.
be funny.
Yeah.
That's all we
That's
ask
the most
for.
important thing.
And then on the other two things, it's like be helpful and be respectful. If you can be funny, helpful, and respectful,
Yeah.
you will go so far in
Yeah.
comedy.
In
And then
life.
on
in
the outside
life.
of that, just like please have a trust fund. And then but those 3 points will get you anywhere you need.
Yeah.
I want a trust fund.
Yeah. And like people are like, you're lucky in life. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just consistent. I show up when I say I'm going to, I show up.
Yeah.
Ask my friends. Like they're like we always know you're going to be here early. And they'll say it like I'm an asshole. I'm like, I'm sorry I wasn't 20 to 30 fucking minutes late. I'm here. What do you need me to help you do? But like,
We need you to come like a half hour later.
it just, well, you said it's 7, so I got here
like
at 6.
stop making us look bad.
Yeah. And like, I worked at a place where they chastised a friend of mine because he worked too hard, and the other people, it disparaged them, and then you know what happened to the person that did that to him? They moved them. They were like, they finally ended up, and I was like, thank God. Because like
Dang.
telling people that you work too hard and you made everybody else feel bad, fuck you. Like, if you show up to Dry Heat Comedy, you get up on stage and you kill, and you do that every time they ask you to do it, you're gonna go pretty far.
Well, sometimes we bomb.
Well,
Yeah.
but you have to.
I mean, the main thing I want everyone to take away from this is like, we really, really, as much as it is a good business decision to do exactly what you're saying,
Yeah.
we really try to book like pretty diverse.
because you guys are good
Yeah.
people.
We always say we're trying to find like eclectic perspectives. That's
Yeah.
what we want. That's
Yeah.
what we want. And so like that means people of all ages. That means people of all
yeah, for sure.
backgrounds. And so we want that.
Yeah.
And so the only time that we ever kind of bristle at anything is when people
are pushy
don't
with
want
us.
that. Yeah. And
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh.
that's terrible.
Yeah, and if you're really pushy with us, if you like show up and you're like, I deserve blah blah blah
No.
blah blah, then we get a little like we're just like okay.
Ooh.
I really wish you guys wouldn't call me out of my own show. Fucked you up. No, I'm just kidding.
Take your shirt off, Chris. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure.
No, that shirt is
no, keep
It's a-
it on.
it's a
It's
great
really nice.
fundraising
Yeah.
shirt.
It is. I bought, and that's another thing. It's like I support you guys because you're my friends, but I also support you guys because you guys are awesome at what you do.
Well, back at
And like that's what upsets me. Everybody's like, "What's like a guy who moved here a couple years ago was like, hey, did you hear they're revitalizing downtown?" I was like, "Cool. Is this they do that every 5 years? You know that, right?" And he's like, "Oh no." And they're like, "What's the secret to it?" Well, you know what? Bring in great people
yeah.
that have a support structure that do good things. It's not that hard. It's not money. It's
Money helps though.
It-
If
no.
anybody has any and they'd like to give it
Sure.
to us,
Yeah.
we'd be thrilled.
No,
We
I'm-
would
no.
use it so responsibly.
but that's who should get it.
Headshots for all the comedians. Yeah.
That first of all, that you know what? For every single comedian that doesn't take advantage of that, you're an idiot. Because those are so expensive.
I haven't been able to take advantage of it because
Idiot.
every time I know every single time my kids ruin it.
Because
Well, we also would be like totally remiss without.
I want to
being
come
like,
get headshots, and I'm not even in anything.
We'll come to an open mic a couple times, and then
I did. I felt like I wrote some really good setups for Danny before she went up.
Oh yeah.
nice. It was
Yeah.
that was so cute.
Oh,
I didn't tell her any of those, but me and Royal set up. And I was like, I have some really good setups for her. Did I tell you guys the setups?
I think one of them maybe.
I was like, hey, you guys hear about this Toys R Us is coming back? You guys see this on the air? You guys see this? You guys see this?
You are us.
Anybody else here in the second grade? I thought those were
Just me. Well then.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird. All right. Anybody else, Mom, really piss you off? I'm just saying.
She actually really impressed me because she was not scared at all.
No, her set was great too. It was awesome.
Her timing, I was like,
No shit.
It took me
I
years.
don't feel like that's something you can really teach right away.
no,
Yeah.
Very
she
cool.
just did it herself.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
but it was great.
Badass.
I feel
Well-
like I could write jokes for kids.
Do it.
All right.
The only other thing I'll say is like truly we could not do what we do without there being a really, really good scene here.
Yeah, everybody's
Absolutely.
here is so funny and so driven, and we're just really, really
Well,
grateful.
it's like a catch-22 in the best way. Like the scene before the comedy club came in was there, but it was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Holly Ann was a part of that, but she wasn't one of the rough ones.
Oh, no,
But it was-
sometimes I was.
It was fucking no. It was rough as a motherfucker. Like there was times you go to shows, and I'd be like, ugh, this is not good. And then you guys came in, and I'm not saying it's totally you, but like you guys are a part of it. Like it's very much more professional, more cleaned up, and less backbite. I don't know.
It's much more palatable.
Yeah. Like I want, like if I know if I go to a show, I'm not going to be like afraid to ask someone to go with me.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
and,
the idea.
And I think you guys are a part of that. Even shows that you're not putting on. I feel like that you guys have like,
Well, part of the reason why Kelly and I moved back in 2019 from New York,
which was a bad idea, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I could
just
not be more
kidding.
thrilled. I love
Just
it here.
kidding.
But when we moved back from New York, it was because we were in the Funny Fiesta. Or I was in the Funny
Oh
Fiesta.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, man. Like when I come to visit, people are great and people are driven. And there's always been comedy here in
Yeah.
Albuquerque. But for some reason, that festival just felt so like different than before and
Yeah.
like really like cohesive. And, you know, I mean, what's nice about it is like it's a combination of stand up and improv, which I like both. And
Plus that year was at the Guild, and anytime you have anything
at the
you're
Guild is
like,
great.
Oh, absolutely.
And
It's a gym in Albuquerque
Yeah.
that just keeps going.
Yes.
Fully
They just need
agreed.
to, when they do their movies on Friday nights, 10:30 is, I'm old.
The whole point.
Look at
is
you
a
like a
10:30
3:30.
movie.
Yeah.
Don't start at 10:30.
Oh, that's true.
It starts at midnight.
I know.
Write Keith a letter or whatever.
But
I'm old.
the idea was like, oh my gosh, these people are,
I love it though.
yeah, they're so funny. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the driven thing is the thing that I
Yeah.
like really latched onto. I was like, they really have like unlocked it and they want to like go. And so I was like, well, this is great. I want to be part of this and I want to help it and I want to do everything that I
Good.
can to make sure that
Because you
it's,
have.
well, yeah. But there's still so much more that everybody can do. And that was the other thing too, is like when you're living in a weird big market like LA or New York or whatever, and I made that joke about the trust fund thing earlier.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it dictates everything that you think
Yeah.
you're like, oh, it's a meritocracy finally, or this is where people are here taking it seriously. You still see people with money being the ones who like
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
further faster. And I'm like, when I got there, it took me so long to even wrap my head around surviving.
Yeah.
That like the like hierarchy of needs thing or whatever like had to be taken care of first, and then you could focus on comedy or whatever. And it's like, I don't want anybody from here to move away and feel that. And I definitely do want people from here to move away, because it's the easiest
Yeah.
way for us to have a beacon of like the art scene and what it's like to be from here is to go out there. And so they need to go out there with the fullest toolbox they can have. And then as soon as they did that, they can hit the ground running and they can get further faster and then do more for the city.
Right. And like in what you're saying is, so there's LA, Chicago, New York. and then now Denver.
Oh yeah.
In Denver,
and Austin, man. Ooh.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But Denver was one of those ones where you would hear comedians talk about it on podcasts and they're talking about the big cities and don't forget Denver. Denver has a crazy scene. Well, that's because of people like you. And so quickly Albuquerque could become that. And the thing is comedians need to understand they're not doing these things. They're doing these things that no one's going to do for you. And then you're going to leave and you're going to think that that's just how everything is. And then you're going to get somewhere and you're going to be like, oh shit, it was so amazing.
I have to
there.
tell you,
You know?
I don't know. So my first year of comedy, Kurt decided to take me to Denver to perform there. And he was like, it's going to be so great and you're going to love it so much. And then I got there and there was places with clocks.
Oh,
And I didn't know what that was. You know what I mean?
What
and
is
I
that?
was
I don't know.
so there at Dry Heat.
It's a
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
It tells you
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
And so
I'm thinking I'm thinking like the actual clock or
no, like
not a
Big
timer.
Ben,
A
you know,
timer.
like, you know.
and
Big Ben.
that seems like a small thing, but I had to train myself
Oh wow.
to know in my body when my time was up,
Oh.
so that when I went to a place like that, my set would fit into where the little clock was.
Yep.
Right.
And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how you're supposed to talk to people, how you're supposed to work in a venue and things like that. And I had Kurt, which was nice because he's great.
He's amazing.
But now it's I feel like you guys have given us tools that
Yeah.
now newer comics aren't ever going to have that feeling of being like, I don't know what I'm supposed to
Right.
do.
Exactly.
And no, I also feel like Sarah and Kelly just saved us.
And
No.
No,
Everything's
no,
Not
going
really, but
perfectly fine.
Y'all
with us.
saved yourselves.
you guys are going to comedy college real quick.
The funniest thing now is that sometimes there are new baby comics who
Yeah.
have been at the mics that we have timers at or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone will light them and they'll be like, what?
What is that?
And we're like, no, that means get off. Get off.
1 minute left. 1 minute left. Yeah.
Well, why do you keep flashing your phone at me?
Yeah, they're like, I guess someone's taking a picture. or
But
whatever.
what I'm trying to say is, so there's Albuquerque. I feel like we really don't understand ourselves too, because we're we have bands here, but we don't have a good music scene. We have a fucking
Incredible
killer
music scene.
Yeah.
and you
So
don't because I didn't understand till I went to other cities, and I was like, I'm gonna go watch some local music, and like San Diego, and then people are like, House of Blues, and you're like, no, where do I go watch the local bands? And people have no idea.
Yeah.
And then I finally found them, and the venue, which was about the size of
In here.
Echoes,
Yeah. Oh,
no, Echoes, sells out by 8 o'clock.
Wow.
And that's because they don't have that. And they're shocked. People are and I was talking to this couple at the place, and we drove 45 minutes to get here. And I was like, whoa. So Albuquerque has a killer music scene.
Yeah.
And we're quickly creating a killer comedy scene.
Well, we really, I
But
mean,
don't move here.
yeah,
But the
don't,
bottles of blood and the needles.
don't come here. But if you're here, then great.
You'll get shot at knockouts.
Honestly, when Sarah and I first moved back, when I first moved here and when Sarah moved back,
Yeah.
we were because Sarah is friends with a lot of the people in the
What kind of
Music scene.
what kind of lowrider do you drive?
Ford Ranger.
It's a banger. We flipped.
Yeah, we've just been flipping.
It's a nice
bangers.
solid auto all around.
Yeah.
When this came out,
We
one of
got
my
it for
favorites.
about 20 or 1,200 quid.
So the quid sounds fair.
Anyway, yeah, no. When I first moved here with Sarah, we were like, I wish the comedy community could be more like the music scene here,
Oh yeah.
where it's everybody's lifting each other up. There's
Well,
excellence happening.
That's post shutdown. It was not that like that before. No, it was
But-
not.
There were some really major players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Anyway,
telling you.
cool
I'm
stuff.
telling you. The reason why I'm telling you that is because you would see a band, and all my friends are musicians, a bunch of them, and you'd see a band that's doing well. There's a couple still around that are doing well, and my friends will shit all over. them.
Well, yeah, but that's how everybody. That's human nature. To do that.
No, but you have this. I'm telling you, you have this newer generation, post where
It's
they'll
not a generational thing. That's literally how it's always been.
right. No. But like you'll see them now, and they all play in each other's bands. They'll help each other set up.
Yes. Oh yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like you didn't see that back in the day.
No.
You didn't see them like oh, my friends are playing. I'm gonna go help them all set up on stage. Like
Yeah.
what? Like that's crazy. And like I've even like talked to people who are from the older bands, and they're like just stupefied by like how nice they are to each other.
Well,
And it's so weird.
I always
we have
say-
an actual community going on here.
There you go.
Yeah.
but that's the whole thing too, right? I
Yeah.
just art in New Mexico,
Yeah.
and I would say specifically Albuquerque, Santa Fe,
Yeah.
because we're in the center of it. It is like evolution
Mm-hmm.
in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, where it's like Australia is an island
Mm-hmm.
that has nothing touching it, and so then all of a sudden you get a duck-billed platypus because it's like, well, it's not. There's nothing near it that's like evolutionarily
Tuscan-sized
related.
crab. Yeah.
Right. And so in Albuquerque, we have to create and evolve our own art and create very unique kind of art because we are 4 hours away from even remotely
Sure.
another market, and so we're all
4 hours. What's the other market?
I would say like Amarillo.
Oh, okay.
You know, or
I was
like,
like,
El
Denver's-
Paso.
oh, okay.
Like,
Oh,
those
yeah.
are 4 hours.
That's fair.
And then, or like Trinidad is like right there. So like,
Tucson.
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
Tucson
that's
6. So then, so the big ones would be 6. Then after
Yeah.
that, and then 8 after that. But
It takes a while.
we make all of this for ourselves, and then
Right.
because of that, it's very unique and very like
Cool.
authentic. And then when
When
when other people come in,
Yeah.
then they're like, oh my god,
Or when people get out.
yes,
So that's the thing is like Albuquerque is really horrendous for that. Is when someone makes it and they get out, then they're like fuck them.
yeah,
And it's like and here's how I know. We have a friend who's from the Shins, and I cannot tell you
Very famously did this.
how many people come up to me and ask me the most fucked up shit about it. Crazy. Like I'll tell you some of it
you need
after.
a shin guard.
Right? Right? And like just shit all over, like, you know, or if when they come here to play.
Yeah.
Oh, the comments on Facebook. And it's like
It's like they forgot they're connected to the ankle bone.
yeah.
The knee.
No, but it's like but like anybody.
Yeah.
Except for like boxers and fighters. And like people like for some reason it's like that's fine. If they make it, yeah.
Nobody's like, man, Neil Patrick Harris forgot who he was.
Oh, bullshit. I've
I
heard
know,
that.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I actually heard that too.
I've heard like, oh, he's such
Didn't
a
his
fucking
parents own a
asshole.
They
restaurant?
did right over by
And it was
TD's.
Yeah, and it was so good.
Yeah.
What was that place called? Like Perennials or something?
Oh, that's right.
And it was right over by the old laughs.
But like, yeah, if a fighter makes it, like they can kill people, and people are like, they're great
Name
people.
the park after them.
Name the park. Mural. Yeah. But like anybody else, and like people are like, oh, they sold out. Fuck them, and it's like crazy weird.
You know who else I think has a really good scene here are the poets.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there was
yeah.
a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Oh,
before
there was
Kelly
a-
knew about Albuquerque.
yeah.
That, like poetry here
The
was
spoken
huge
word.
deal.
Crushing, yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm a huge fan of it, but
But
It
it's
is-
it's
it's
always
its own
been here,
thing.
and it's always been pretty
no,
big here.
And
there
they
was
win awards. They win
Yeah.
like national
It's
awards. and bring them
really
back
cool.
home.
well, there's two scenes. There was that one, and there was the noise scene. The noise scene
Yeah.
was massive, and like, well, I mean,
What do you mean was? It's just a little harder to find now.
okay. But there was a time.
You gotta
where-
listen.
I remember Billy took me to a show, and I was like, "I'm sorry, what kind of music is this?" And he's like, "Noise
Noise.
music." And I was like, "Is that a genre?" And then they started playing, and I went, "Oh, it is not for me."
Yeah.
Don't we
Yeah.
have a poet laureate from here?
We always
Yes.
do.
We
Yeah.
always no. There's a New Mexico, yeah.
Oh, is that? Oh,
But
didn't know that.
but when you go to the noise thing, we have a Pulitzer Prize winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
the other
Yes.
thing, I mean, as an author, the other thing that
He was
is
on this show.
really cool
Yeah.
here is there are a lot of like sci-fi,
Yep.
fantasy horror writers here, which as a horror writer, I'm like, fucking yeah.
I met Jack Williamson.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Cool. Yes. And
I have an autographed book by him.
that's
Somewhere.
so cool. Yeah.
He coined the phrase teleporter.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to get to be like, I don't know. I'm friends with the people who run Beastly Books. So
In Santa Fe.
I've gotten to read with like Melinda Snodgrass and like some of the other really cool people there.
Here
and
comes
it's
the
like-
name drop.
No. I'm just saying
I'm
like
just kidding.
Yeah, coming from you.
It's just it's I'm sorry, didn't you have a friend that plays in the Shins or whatever?
Yes, correct. I didn't name drop him.
But I'm just
Marty Crandall.
I'm just
Shinny McShindles.
yeah. Mr. Shin.
But yeah, no, I'll
Ming
tell you.
Shin.
No, I just think it's really cool that there's such a like strong, like weird writer presence here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it makes sense because like you know, geographically everything here is bonkers.
Yeah.
And haunted AF.
Yeah.
I went to so when I was in DC, I was like when I was working there, and I was like, I need to go to the Smithsonian. Well, there's 17 of them, but I went to the American History one, and that was cool. Well, then
Oh, here come the name drop.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Smithsonian.
Well, actually, you know what the first thing I saw was in the Smithsonian, the very first exhibit.
A Smith's record.
No,
Oh, sorry.
a lowrider from Espanola.
Oh, see, beautiful.
And I walk up and the lady goes,
Nice.
"Isn't this neat?" I go, "Yeah, I know this car." And she goes, well, "You do?" I go, "Yes." And so anyway,
Name dropping.
so we go to the Smithsonian, one of the art ones, right? And like the first floor is all these like portraits, right? And I'm like, I don't really like seeing portraits of like old white dudes from the
Right.
1700s.
Where are the flipping bangers?
So we go upstairs and there's some really cool stuff. We walk in this room, and it is the Southwestern Art Room.
Oh, dude.
There's 15 paintings.
I am ready for a
12.
flower that looks like a vagina.
No,
Bring it on.
15 paintings. 12 of them were from people from Taos.
Well, yeah.
12 of them.
Wow.
Who were not like they didn't grow up there, but they were like born here, died Taos. Like there were 12 of them, and I was just like, all right.
Taos actually has a great
Yeah.
noise scene too, but it's just called the hum.
Oh, the hum. I went down a really big rabbit hole about the hum, and I think it was your fault.
Oh man.
Probably.
It might have been your fault.
I think
get
because
that
I made
home.
you read that story. Huh?
I probably.
Yeah.
All right. I think we should probably end this. It's
Yeah.
been quite a long, but
Yeah.
we went long because we love you guys.
We love
We
being
love
here.
y'all.
Yeah, this is
That's
like
the best.
And here's the funniest thing about this: when I first met Sarah, I was like, she does not like me at all, and I was very
Chris is
upset
one of
about
my
it.
favorite people in town.
I was
I
very
like
upset
everybody
about it.
but Smiley because he doesn't like me.
Yeah.
I told Tammy, I was like, I don't think she likes me. And, and
The
Tammy's like,
vicious rumor.
and Tammy's like, she's kind of shy, and I was like, she's a comedian. She goes on stage, and like, I was like, I even brought her a VGA came one time, and she did not seem like she was like.
I mean, I did rip it in half.
in front of my
I'm shy.
Also, I thought of you the other night because I was thinking of the art bar. We went to Bar Uno the other night, and Lotus is now a dispensary.
Yeah.
I take people in there now as a dispensary to be like,
What?
and here's where Goth Night took place.
Oh yeah.
And over
That's what my
there
girlfriend said. She
is
goes,
where I mother birded my friends. I literally, I go through there, and then that's so sweet too. Is like the dispensary workers are like, yes, and we want to do events here, and I'm like, yes, but you don't. This place is.
I only
I'm
ever
visited by like flashbacks.
I never went in there. One time I was leaving the art bar and I was walking by and they threw this guy out with a shirt, no shirt on, and I was like, and I was like, I had so many questions. I was like, did he go in there with no shirt on? Did someone rip the shirt off? Did he just take the shirt off
I had a boyfriend that was a bouncer there.
at Lotus?
Yes. And
I never went in there. I never been inside.
Oh,
I forget
got
that it was called Lotus because
Yeah.
for me, always it's like OPM. Like I call it that. all the
Oh,
time.
that's what it is.
What was OPM?
OPM was the dingo bar to the Burt's Tiki Lounge of that space. So OPM
Yeah, yeah.
and then Lotus and then.
Oh man, I knew it way before that.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
I'm all, are you talking about? Yeah, no.
I got thrown out of the Lotus by my own boyfriend.
Oh wow.
But because it was like Beyond Ordinary, and then it was UN, and then yeah,
I mean, yeah, that place is kind of in like flux.
But now it's a dispensary, which is all right.
They kept the light up floors though. If you go in there and you see
It had light up floor.
It has,
Yes.
So
I've never
the
been there.
floors and
I'm
the
really
dance
excited.
room light up, and they want to do like really great yoga classes with like a chill DJ up in the DJ booth, and they have so many amazing plans. And it,
I started going there when I was 10 to sell acid.
See, this is Albuquerque. See, this is the Smiley
Probably go
story.
back.
Beyond Ordinary, BO.
I
It was
feel like-
BO, and then it was UN.
I feel like we have to stop on that one.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank Sarah and Kelly from Dry Heat Comedy. Sunday nights,
Gotta
One
come out.
Liner Madness, $20, $15 if you buy online, right?
they're on Hold My Ticket or dryheatcomedyclub.com.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
If you come to any comedy show this year, make it that one.
Yeah.
It is the most fun you can possibly ever have.
Lots of murders. Launchpad will be shut down after.
Yeah.
No, we're just kidding. It's gonna be amazing. We will all be there.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Well, I'm definitely
Well,
going to be. I
No,
have
no,
to
no.
be there.
We will watch. We
Holly's
will.
gonna win.
We will watch Holly Ann's coronation.
You have to tell me if you're not going to be there so that I can rebook.
No, I'm definitely for sure going to be
We
there.
have lots and lots of people like as backups. Being like,
Yeah.
We're gonna have a boombox. We're the best.
Like, Chris is just making me feel nervous now.
No, you're gonna win.
be like, sweep the leg.
Just kidding.
Chris is like, he's going to kick me off of the podcast if I don't win.
No.
gonna be a whole thing.
Well, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
10 wins minimum.
I'm just like John Kreese. I'm all. There is no pain in this dojo. There's only laughter in this dojo.
The only dojo I know is Mojo Dojo. Casa
Okay.
Oh
House.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Join the
Then
10
you
drink.
are enough.
Join the 10 drink minimum underground, and that way we can. You can tell us you want to go to the Ming Chen invite only show at Dry Heat Comedy,
Yeah.
sponsored by Topo Chico.
Yes. And Ming Chen. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know.
He'll sponsor it.
sponsors-
Yeah,
Well, I don't think he's
sponsoring
sponsoring
it.
He'll throw
it.
some a couple bucks
Yeah,
at it.
yeah, yeah.
He's our guest.
We may,
weird.
we
I'm
may
sorry,
save
guys.
a $2 bill for someone.
Yeah. Lucky fans will
Yeah.
get a selfie with Ming Chen.
Yeah.
In our throne.
Yeah. Oh, you have a throne. That's right.
Ooh.
Oh,
I love
man.
that throne.
Can we just like roast him in the throne?
Yes.
You could, yeah.
Oh,
The throne
man.
is courtesy of local comedian Dean Florence.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Nice.
I love that throne.
So join the 10 Drink Minimum Underground. Like and subscribe all of our social media and Dry Heat. Add their Instagram. Do you guys have a YouTube channel?
Not yet. This
No.
year.
Are you guys going to do it?
Oh yeah.
We don't want to compete against y'all.
That's fine. Hey, we're not doing that good. We're just barely scraping by.
But that's going to change this year.
It's going to change this year.
Because we're gonna try.
Because we're gonna
10 tries.
if you were like wondering, we haven't even tried.
Yeah.
Never once.
Owning this in the whole time.
This is half-assed.
1 drink maximum.
Yeah.
We don't even drink 10.
Oh, no. Important point.
I don't know.
Let's
Very
see.
early in, like, I was watching old episodes.
Oh yeah.
I think I used to drink 10 drinks.
Oh man. That's why I'm
So did we.
see that's why I'm slimming down for this because we're gonna kick ass this year. I'm just like ready to fight.
I thought that was when you guys used to do the live ones at Art Bar. I was like, what a mess.
Fucking A, right?
Everyone in there doing 10 drinks. Like, I could not wrap my head around like what you guys
And it was a mess.
I think it was like there was like 2 pitcher minimum.
Dude, I swear to
yeah.
God, there was a couple times I almost got in a couple fights
Sure.
with the people that not the people who own the place, but the people that they hired to.
I'm
Yeah.
so
The
excited
members.
for this to come to Dry Heat. I'm just kidding.
Fight.
No,
I'm not
no,
going to
no.
drink 10 drinks,
Live
I
fight.
promise.
Oh no, we are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, spread apart, like spread throughout,
Yeah.
like
you know, like over 2 hours.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
each.
Between 3 people, we can probably get 10
10
drinks
drinks
down.
total minimum.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
No,
Okay.
no. There was I'll tell you the story after. There was some things that went on that people were trying to like shut us down, and they were
Oh, they tried.
right
Because there was a
Asking-
murder.
someone tried to fire. They tried to fire us.
How do you think I got my spot?
Yeah, see, we gotta write a tell-all at the
Holly
end.
had
of
a
this, yeah.
full coup.
All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. Go see Army of the Dead and try to figure out where Smiley is.
Yes, still no one's found me.
And maybe
All over it.
if you find him we'll give you a free Topo Chico at the
at a $2 bill.
at the live show.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
save a
Free
$2
Topo
bill.
Chico either way. And with that,
We are 10 drink minimum.